DK and Shade from Takoyaki Anime.
Yo!
And welcome to Monthly Ketchup. Today's episode is Anime 101.
Oh boy.
so, today is a record for us. Is our largest number of shows at 37 shows.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's over 60%.
Yeah.
Okay, man, alright. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. Usually over
Wow. Okay.
usually over at
What was
Andy.
our biggest before this?
I want to say like 31, and then recently we had a one
Oh, okay.
that was 30, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's
Okay, so yeah, yeah, mm-hmm. We're inching our way closer to that 40 there, I see. Okay.
um
Fun, fun.
yeah. So I
God, are any of the ones that we have duplicates?
yes, 10 of them.
Can't be that many.
I think 10 of them are duplicates.
Damn, you have a lot then. You have
Yeah.
way more than I do then.
10 more than
Good
you.
lord.
So, it's a weird thing because it's like we were on hiatus for 2 years, and a lot of cool stuff came out during then. And what? Hmm?
I'm sorry, I just realized something. I was just kind of scrolling through the thing, and there's another one on here that I didn't put on there.
Uh
Maybe
oh.
we'll get to it. I don't know. Maybe you'll have it. It would have
Okay.
been one of mine too, but because it's season 2 of something, and I just realized what it was because I didn't. I again, I look at the story. I don't. Had I clicked on the trailer first, I would have gone, "Oh, this one. Yes, absolutely." I didn't
Yeah.
do that. I just looked at the rhythm like, "Nah, it's fine."
There's a
But I
couple that
didn't
I was
realize what it
like.
was. I'm like, "Oh, wait,
There was a couple that
yeah."
I was like, this one,
I
no.
probably didn't. I probably didn't realize at the time,
Mhm.
so we'll get to that. Anyways, go ahead.
Yes. So, one thing that I want to, I
Mm-hmm.
probably will not be able to do it because this year is a disaster. But I want to kind of like mix backlog into um, monthly catch up to where, like, let's say a season two comes out and I haven't watched season one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if it's a show that I want to watch but you're not interested in, I want to do like a delayed like process of it. So like when we do first impressions, I'll do first impressions of season one because it's something that I missed back in the day, or especially during our hiatus. Um,
Gotcha.
but if it's something that we both want to watch, then I'll go ahead and just get caught up. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
That'll be hard this season, considering how many season twos there are.
yeah, it's gonna be a pickle. Um, but yeah, so let's get this train this party underway. The first show,
We
right?
we we definitely gonna be taking breaks in this. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just let me know. The first show we're gonna be talking about is Ame to Kimito. So, we both have this one, and my notes say,
Forgot I had this one.
my notes say, did I just watch a raccoon and a person have a moment? Anyway, I don't know why this person was walking in the rain with no umbrella. But if this was like, but if if this was early 2000s J drama, that character would be dying later on from rain sickness because every time someone gets caught in the rain, it's a really big deal in old school J dramas.
Okay, I see. Again, I've not watched the trailer. That is not a raccoon.
Okay.
That is a tanuki,
Ah, I don't
which
think
is the
I.
reason why it pulled out an umbrella because it's mystical It's a mystical creature.
That makes more sense. I think every time that I've seen a tanuki, it's more of anthropomorphized. I've never seen
Yeah,
like,
no, this is a full-on tanuki.
yeah, I've never seen like the actual animal.
I just looked at it just based upon. Okay, so for me, this was just this synopsis of this was just it had me questioning a lot of things and going, "What the hell?" So the synopsis of this one: if it looks like a dog and acts like a dog and insists it's a dog, it's a dog? Question mark. Probably question mark. She adopted it anyways, and her life with this quote unquote dog will never be boring. Yes, that is a tanuki. That
Okay.
sounds like that's yeah okay yeah no I'm good with that.
Okay.
This is done by Lespet. Why that sounds French.
Hmm.
The studio. I mean, they've kind of been around for a little while, but they really haven't done much.
Hmm.
And most of what they've done looks like very kittyish type stuff.
Okay.
Interesting. I mean, yeah. Well, see, that's funny too, because I've already seen like in their earlier stuff, there's a Tanuki in one of their things, so it's like they apparently have a thing for Tanukis.
Ah, okay.
But yeah,
Cool.
no, I'm interested. It seemed. I mean, it's a comedy slice of life. I'm not expecting anything stupendous from it.
Hmm.
Uh, Original story. I mean, I've never seen it's very rare. The only reason why at first I was gonna say a red panda as far as that goes,
Yeah.
but then the leaf on its head, I was like, no, the leaf on the head, it's Tanuki.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'm interested to see where that goes. It definitely seems like it has enough intelligence. I'm curious why it was sitting out there in a box in the rain. I mean, it had an umbrella. Why didn't it? Why wasn't it using the umbrella?
Yes. It's
I
like
mean,
it's like nah, I got a leaf. I'm good.
I gotta leave. It's fine. I'm used to this.
Yeah.
I have fur. It's fine.
Yeah.
So no, it looks fun. It definitely looks like one of those that's going to be like a cozy, relaxing, not a whole lot of like, you know, suspenseful things are gonna happen. It's a slice of life. It's just gonna be fun, cool, just relaxed kind of thing.
Okay. Cool. 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 Um. Yeah. I don't. It's interesting. I'm kind of thrown off a bit by the person how they were just kind of just walking out in the rain. So I'm curious,
Well,
like,
thank God it's not a K drama.
yeah, um,
They would be in trouble.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I'm curious to see like where the show's going because um, it introduced two interesting characters, but I'm curious like what's the plot gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright, the next show we're gonna be talking about is Arknight's Ancient Summer or Arknight's Rise from Ember.
Okay, so I've played the game.
Oh,
Um, I had it for a while, but I see this is a sequel to a previous one that I have not seen. So if I was going to watch this one, I would have liked to watch the first one first.
yes. So my notes say this looks strangely familiar. I believe we talked about this show before.
I
Uh,
believe we have.
yeah. Uh, I think I said that it's a really intense Beastman anime. The trailer has magic, sword fights, and mechs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm either into crazy action fantasy or very silly fantasy. So this is the type of show that seems up my alley.
I mean, it would have been something I would have been interested in because even playing the game, it's not a very like intense necessary game.
Hmm.
Um, but the storyline did intrigue me in certain parts.
Hmm.
Eventually, I just stopped playing. I just didn't have the time to. But I don't know. I mean, I might go back and watch the first season. I'm not
Mhm.
100% sure on that.
If you do, we could
But if I
both
did, I would go.
we could both backlog it. But there's so much
Yeah,
this
true.
season that I don't know if we will have the time.
Yeah, no, that it's gonna be nuts. So,
Yeah. So the studio that did this is Star Pictures. Um, this year they're also working on Go Go Loser Ranger, and they did the same.
mm,
They did the same thing last year.
yep.
Um,
Yeah,
and
they did. Wow, so the original Arcanite came out in 2023. Interesting. Oh wait, no, no. God, there's been two seasons. Or at least that maybe they're not tied together in that regards.
oh,
Because
so this may be
there's
season
one
three,
season on 2023, and then there's another one on 2022. Unless the cores divided up, I don't know.
or it's like a OVA or something.
That has 8 episodes. That has 8 episodes. No, they're well, at the very least, it seems like this won't be very many episodes. If because the last two ones they had were only 8 episodes.
Yeah, so it looks like it maybe like hour long episodes because they do that for sometimes, and
Gotcha.
or it's just gonna be they just like we're not doing 13 episodes. That's too much work for the quality that we want to put out. We're just
Yeah,
gonna.
because it does look quite good,
Oh yeah,
quality wise for that. But I mean, they do have a basis to work off of because it is based upon a game. So,
yeah. So the synopsis for season two or three, I guess, is she was supposed to be a beacon of hope, but now her anger and hatred have turned into flames of war and are about to engulf the people. Only Rhodes Island, a neutral organization, can stop the reunion's rampage and the conspiracy behind it. Amia and the others head towards Chernobog's core city, where it is on a collision course with Lungmen. What fate awaits them there? Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, like now that you said that it's based off of a game, it does seem like this is like the next arc.
hmm
So
so yes, this is essentially. So it looks like they divided it into two cores.
okay,
So I guess this technically would be. I mean, technically is the second season, but it's kind of the third season, more or less.
yeah. So it's like season one, part one, and part two, and then this
Yeah,
is
and then now this
season
is season two.
two, part one, possibly.
Maybe. Yeah, because I don't know how many episodes they plan on doing for this one particular. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
anyways.
yeah, so I will most likely sample the first, the very first one, just to see
hmm
how it is, because I never got around to last time we talked about it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'll go from there.
Fair enough.
Uh, cool, cool,
I
cool.
may come into that as well. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Alright. The next show we're going to be talking about is Bad Girl.
This is all you, my man.
Yes. So, my notes say, this is so freaking adorable. This girl is trying her best to be a bad girl. She's cosplaying the part, and everybody treats her as a child.
hmm
um,
They must have taken down the trailer for this one because I don't see it anywhere.
oh, I think I googled it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because it's not on any chart.
yeah. So, um, for ones that look interesting, I'll throw out. I'll search for it on Google, and then maybe I'll find like a teaser or something. Um, but yeah, bad girl. Um, this one is done by Bridge, and they're doing Hotel and Human,
Bridge. I don't
which we're
recognize that one.
talking about
Oh, okay.
later.
Yeah, yeah.
They did Shaman King back in 2024. They did Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh,
2022.
good lord, the Shaman King.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, that one looks familiar. I think I did. I think I might have watched that one.
the last one in 2020.
The one in 20. Well, the not the Yu-Gi-Oh, but the Muyo to
Yeah.
Tenno. Yeah, I think I might have watched that one.
Yeah, that
The
does
one
that.
next to it looks. The one next to it looks familiar too.
Yes.
The girl with the pink hair, that she looks familiar.
Yeah, with like the faded color at the tips of her hair.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so we may have come across this studio back in 2020.
Oh, okay. No, I do. They done Fairy Tale.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh God, look at 2010.
2010. Ah!
There you go. That's probably where and this probably goes right along with what this one's gonna be about, and I guarantee you.
Oh my god! Mitsutomoe!
Yeah, talk about a blast from the past.
That's their first show?
Yep,
Oh my
that was their
god.
first show.
Oh my. I. I watched this with Ray Ray and
Mm-hmm.
one of my anime buddies. And do you remember the scene when they were talking to the nurse and she was handling a bunch of urine samples
Uh huh.
and somebody knocked the tray over and
Mm-hmm.
it went flying everywhere.
Yep.
Ray Ray covered her eyes. My friend was like, ah! Like it landed on him. And I was dying. It was so funny.
No, I was dying about that hamster.
I don't remember the hamster.
Yeah, one of the girls named the hamster Nipples.
That does that does remind me.
And then the conversations would get very weird and to be like, "Do you want to play with my with my nipples?" Basically, was the actual translation for it, and they were just like, and I think overhearing conversations from like teachers walking by, and they're just like, "What the hell's going on in here?" Yeah, I remember that.
This show would get canceled nowadays.
Oh, 100%.
Wow. Okay. Um, what is this show gonna be like? Bad
That's a good
girl.
question.
The synopsis is the story follows Yu Yutani, a first year high school student who is a good girl. However, to attract the attention of the school's disciplinary committee chairman and Madonna, Atori Mitsutori, okay, she begins to act like a delinquent. Um, that makes perfect sense.
Yep, that's why she's a bad girl.
um, Interesting. But yeah, man, if this is anything like their if they go anywhere near back to their roots,
Oh God.
it's gonna be wild. I do think that they're I think it's gonna be very funny coming
Yeah,
from
I
this
know.
studio.
I watched the trailer for it. It definitely seemed like they had an idea for what they were doing in this.
Okay.
Given their reputation, though, I'm not too surprised.
Yeah. But yeah. I'm a little bit more excited about this one. I know I'm gonna laugh. I don't know how far they're gonna take it, but
Given the society at this point, I don't know.
yeah. But yeah. Next show we're gonna be talking about is uh Busamen Gachi Fighter.
Yes. So this one is mine. It is done by White Fox.
Mhm.
Um, who has done ReZero
Yes.
and Utaware Mono, which is another one of my favorite, and Goblin Slayer too. They have done and Arifutoro. Yeah, they've done a lot of the ones I've watched.
Good, good. I have this on my list too, so I just want to have my little
Oh, okay, cool. I
yes.
knew this was one of mine, so I was like, I need to like,
So
take the reins here. Go ahead, what you got?
yeah, so from the trailer, I think the main character is was trying to figure out why he's in this new world and what abilities he had. I was just as confused as he was, and then the trailer ended.
So yeah, it seems interesting. I'm not sure how far I'm gonna get with it, but it does seem interesting.
Hmm.
Synopsis for this is his looks are negative 255. Touching girls causes him pain, and sexual acts will literally tear him apart. Just what can our ex salaryman Shiguru get in the other world in exchange for such inconveniences? This is an epic tale of one very ugly but ridiculously strong man. So, yeah, I don't know. It's another. It's. I mean, I saw that. I was like isekai. I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. See what happens.
Okay.
Uh, this looks like. Uh, I hate to say. It. I'm sure someone's going to in that regards, but in regards to it being animation and everything, it's like One Punch Man mixed with uh, fantasy mixed with ugly bastard kind of thing. I mean, his looks are negative 255, so I mean, um, I guess he drew the short end of the stick on that one when he got isekai'd here for whatever reason.
They're
But
like they're like this will not be a etchy show. He will die.
even though they, even though they give him this like a horrible stereotypical look in that regards, where I'm like, if this was anything else, it's be going completely different places. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's done by White Fox. I
I
we can
trust White
see what
Fox.
they do with it. Yeah, I'm not sure how far I'm gonna get with it, but I mean, we'll see. If it's entertaining in some way, shape, or form, I'm in for it.
Okay. Good, good,
I mean,
good.
the trailer is not giving me like. I mean, I'm not like super hyped and stoked unlike some of the other ones that we're gonna be I'm gonna be watching, but I'm still down for it.
Yeah, yeah. This is it's like it intrigued me because it looks like a silly fantasy. So I was like, hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next show we're talking about is City, the animation.
How did I know you were gonna have this one? I
So,
just knew.
um,
Oh God! Now that I'm watching the trailer, yeah, no, 100%, I can see that. 110% I can see that.
so this show on my list
Speaking
because
of silly,
this show looks like Nichijou.
mm-hmm.
It took me so long to like figure out what that style was. I was like, why do these characters look so familiar? Um,
Yeah, there's a there's like a manga, like it, especially the classroom scene, like the classroom scene where you have like all of them. Yeah, on the trailer, like 34 seconds, where it shows like all of them there.
hmm,
I swear that looks like a panel out of a manga.
yeah,
There's like a manga drawing that I've seen before that looks. I think it was on like on One Piece drawing or something like that. It looks
hmm,
very similar to that.
yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
So yeah, Nichijou was an absurdly crazy funny show, and the trailer shows that this is gonna be funny as well. My favorite part of Nichijou, and it's been so long, and I think I've only seen like a couple episodes, um, was I can't remember how the situation played out, but they were outside and they did some like somebody did something and then like the whole city exploded, and me and Ray Ray was just falling off the couch and laughing.
Oh yeah, okay. Now I know what you're talking about exactly.
Yeah, so
Very similar. Just like
yeah.
my ordinary life. Yep.
Then for some reason,
It's
like the
almost
in hmm?
it's almost even more stylized than Nichijou.
Yeah, like
Like
the
I think when they drew it, it's like they almost like for the My City Life, it's like they almost like outlined it darker and under the outlines like the characters and such.
mm, also the animation has like this different quality to it. Like the animation in this show is so dense, it feels like a Where's Waldo picture. It feels
It
like
does. It really does.
it's like something's happening on every inch of the screen. It's one of those
Oh
things
yeah,
where
100%.
it's like you'll watch this show like you'll watch this show through over and over and you'll just keep finding stuff.
Yeah.
That's what that trailer feels like.
Yeah,
Uh
even in bedroom scenes, you just like so many things to see. It's like holy crap.
yeah. Um so this show is done by Kyoto Animation, which we haven't brought up in a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
But they've done a
Oh,
lot.
sorry, I spoiled myself there.
Oh,
I just looked up Kyoto Animation. I spoiled myself there on something apparently that's coming out later this year.
yes!
Yeah,
Oh,
you see that now too, don't you?
Maid Dragon's coming back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Um.
That's the reason why, because they that last season, God, it was when did it come out? Oh, in 2021, 4 years ago.
Wow.
And I don't think I've seen. No, I have not seen anything else by them.
Interesting. Um. So yeah, I'm going through. I didn't. For some reason, I couldn't get into Hibike Euphonium. Um.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Oh
Um.
God, and they're the ones that did the Chunibyo.
Oh, and they did Free. Yes. Um. Yeah. Yeah. This is the studio that does like really nice animation. And
They do, because they were also the one that did Kyokai no Kanata
yes,
from 2015.
yes. And then they did that circus one? No, not circus. Wait, what was that one?
Amagi Brilliant Park.
Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
we like over the last few like at the beginning of the podcast we had a lot of shows from Kyoto Animation to talk about.
We did.
Um, in recent years, especially with the, with the well, it's like were they on hiatus the same time we were on hiatus?
It kind of seems like that. Well, I mean, they still did things, but they weren't like.
As prolific as they used to be.
Yeah. I think the last big show from them I can see before, like, other than Dragon Maid, was like Violent Evergarden, and that's pretty much been it. Everything else has kind of been. I mean, they've had popular series. Don't get me wrong, but they're not been like as well known. I want to say.
Yeah,
Like you ask people who know anime about like Dragon Maid or Violent Evergarden, they know.
yeah. And was it
But
Violent Evergarden a movie?
it
Yeah,
was. It was a
yeah.
series and a movie,
Oh,
and they did both.
oh,
Yeah. See, but Violent Evergarden, the series came out in 2018,
oh. That's
and the movie
okay.
came out in 2020, and that was the only thing they did in 2020, which
Wait
I
a
mean makes sense,
minute.
COVID and everything.
I feel like we talked about Violet Evergarden.
You talked about Violent Evergarden. I don't think I did.
Okay. I feel like I think I didn't finish it because I got scared. I think something bad was about to happen. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Uh,
I want to remember them in the good parts.
yeah. Um, but yeah. Um, so
I
City.
completely understand that because that's my same thought process with Fanad.
Oh yeah,
It's my same thought process. I'm like, no, I want to remember him here. I'm not gonna watch the rest of it. Nope, nope,
How far have you gotten
not.
through Conan?
Probably about halfway, roughly.
Oh yeah, and then yeah, it's like
Because someone told me what was going to happen, and then I went, nope, I'm done. Nope, not watching it.
yeah, and then season two happened, and you're like, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. So
um, but yeah, uh, the city, the animation done by Kill Annie. This is going. It's weird because it's like it's not their usual like really beautiful stuff.
hmm
Um, like you said, it's very stylized.
oh,
Um,
100%.
one thing that yeah, one thing that I'm curious about is like because it reminds me so much of Nichijou. Like I didn't see Nichijou on there.
No, but again, it's similar in style, but I think it almost feels like they're they're going a slight bit more cartoonyish in their
Yeah.
portrayal and animation, and like it's the outlines of the characters and things around them are like darker. Like I almost feel like this isn't even like manga esque. This is
Mm,
more like comic strip esque.
yes. Okay. But yeah. Synopsis for this one is this town is not just a normal town. There's laughter, love, emotional moments, and unpredictable, ordinary life presented by the residents. Exciting stuff comes one after another. Another. Welcome to the city.
This is the epitome of I would never want to live in because, good my God, there is too much shit going on.
The,
Way too
it's
much.
it's man,
I would I would need a breather like all the time.
it's like a parade everywhere, and
Yeah.
then as soon as like it's lights out, it's just everybody sleep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. 100%.
But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see like how it's gonna play out. If it's gonna be as funny as Nichijou, since it doesn't seem to be done by the same people. But yeah. The next show we're gonna be talking about is Clevatic. Clevatis, I believe. Oh, this one.
This one, I know this one's mine
Yes, I
because you
also
use it a
have.
lot.
Yes. So
Okay.
my notes say
I can make sense.
I'm not even a big fan of fantasy shows, but this is. But I have this. Let's see. Wait. But I have to say something. Oh, okay. Uh, what an amp to the gills trailer that was. There's this crazy, powerful looking beast that appears and asks the king. It seems to ask the king what he wants, and then fighting and screaming and rock music, and then the beast finds a baby and turns it to a human, and then would not shut up. It.
Wow. You had a lot on there, huh?
I was like, I have to say
Wouldn't
so.
shut up.
This trailer, oh my god.
Yeah. No, I watched it now just recently, so I get you. I mean, it's intense, but um, this show is done by Ledus,
Ladies.
which I don't think I've seen anything by them. I think you have though.
Yes, their names looks familiar. Um, let's see. Man, they're Yudi Yudi.
Though it looks, yeah, that's what I figured.
Release the spice.
Um,
Yeah.
though they did Magi, Sinbad no Boken. I think that's a spin-off of the Magi that I know of though.
Ah,
So
yes.
yeah, synopsis for this one is the story centers around the titular Clavatis, the lord of all magical beasts, who wields both uncanny intellect and destructive power. Frustrated by the 13 heroes tasked to destroy him, he has decided to be rid of humanity once and for all. However, he has been charged with one nuisance: the care of a newborn human baby. Now the world stands upon the brink of. Why aren't you going down? Oh, dang it. Why does it do that? Now it starts around the brink. Okay, so receive. Wait, why did it change? Harry is charged with one nuisance. He revived a hero he personally slayed and adopts an orphaned humanoid baby. The last hope to save a dying world. Why does it? I went and clicked on the actual thing on the actual, and it changed what it was saying on the. Okay, are they just changing it now? What the hell? The world stands upon the brink of Armageddon with the obligation of raising one child, holding it all back. Now bound together, what fate awaits this unlikely trio? Alright. So yeah, I mean, it sounds interesting, and now having watched uh, or seen what the trailer for it, yeah, it definitely looks really good.
Hmm.
Um, was this the one I was seeing that I thought it reminds me? Oh, see, okay. Here's the thing. This is what I wanted to say after having watched the trailer for it.
Yes.
That if you're doing old school, like this feels, it's not isekai. This is straight up fantasy,
Yes.
right? And I'm looking at the animation style in this, and I'm like, if you're going to do that, do this animation. This feels old school, like like it virtually oozes old school fantasy in what it shows. Is that
Okay.
if that makes sense?
Yes.
Because I'm like, I, if they had made it like more updated or more cleaner as far as that goes, I don't think I would. I mean, I'd still probably watch it, but it wouldn't get as much of an impact on it as I do seeing it like this.
Hmm.
To
Okay.
me, this is like if you're doing straight up fantasy and you're not doing like a comedy fantasy more, you're doing more of like some serious fantasy kind of situation. I
It's
mean, there's
like
comic books
classic
inside of that.
fantasy.
Yeah, this is the way you should go. So I'm actually pretty stoked about. I mean, I was okay with thinking about it because it seemed interesting based upon the synopsis, anyways.
Hmm.
Um, but now seeing the actual animation for it, I'm even more stoked for it.
Okay.
But yeah, just the fact that 13 heroes were sent to destroy this magical, the lord of all magical beasts, and he just became frustrated with them. I guess didn't meet his. They're like, you're not powerful enough to come. 13 of you, and none of you even together are powerful enough to take me on. I'm like, all right, cool. That seems interesting. So
Yeah.
I'm curious where that's gonna go to. Is like, I mean, I get it, the whole thing is like I guess the fact that he's taking care of a human now that feels obligation is not going to destroy the world, but I don't necessarily know how that works. But I'm more curious is like, did he kill all the 13 heroes? Obviously, he killed one of them and then decided to bring them back. I guess because the human was there and they're like, I need someone to take care of this child or thing.
Ah.
I don't know. It seems interesting. I'm curious
Okay.
where they're gonna go with it.
Okay. Cool. 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 Um. Yeah. The next show we're gonna be talking about is uh 9 season 2.
The only reason why this wasn't on my list is because I have not seen season one yet.
Same. Um. So.
I
Why?
keep meaning to.
Oh yeah. It's one of those big shows that a lot of people talk about.
Yeah.
So my notes say, Signature was talking about how good this show was and how great the intro song was.
Mm-hmm.
I got the song off iTunes and I listen to it almost every day, but I've never watched the show. It looks crazy.
It
Um,
does. It does look crazy. It reminds me in the craziness of oh god, what was that one with the kid who's a psychic?
Uh,
I keep wanting to say psychopath, but it's not the same. That's not the, that's the murder mystery one. I'm thinking about oh god, what the hell is the name of that one? The psychic, the anime psychic kid. Yeah, see there. Oh my god, give me the name of the anime. There's the character. I see him. Yes, give me the freaking name of the anime. Mob Psycho. Thank you. Good lord.
Oh, mobs like yes, that makes sense.
It looks the craziness of it reminds me of like the craziness of that.
Yeah. Um, let's see. This show is done by Science Saru, which I have never heard of. um, they've been around for a while. Uh,
Yeah, Science Saru. I've
they worked on Devilman Crybaby, which makes sense as far as like high quality animation. Um,
Scott Pilgrim.
uh, it seems like they do like projects, like not really like TV shows.
Yeah, to me it looks like most of the time what they're doing is everything, and it makes sense considering what Den is, but everything looks hyper stylized.
Yeah.
Like none of these have animations that I would even remotely say are typical. Even the Scott Pilgrim. I mean, that's its own type of animation in regards to that. So it's like, yeah,
Okay. So that makes sense. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm a little sad that the intro music is not as catchy as the first season. Um,
mm.
but uh,
That
we
you know. I mean, they could change it. I don't know.
yeah, I heard something in the trailer, which seems like it's gonna be the intro music, but
It could change.
maybe that's the outro music and the intro music's also cool. But yeah, we shall see. Synopsis is this is the second season or the second season of Dan Da Dan. Uh, Okarun and Gigi have made a strange discovery while Momo finds herself under attack. What mysterious encounters await them next?
Which would mean more to me if I actually had seen the first season.
Yes, I am glad that it did. I'm glad it didn't spoil anything.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Be like, this person, they're dead. And you're like, no!
Well, I know what's gonna happen now.
but, yeah, so I think this is one of those shows that I'm a backlog. I'm gonna just watch the first season during the second season, and then eventually catch up. Um,
I gonna try. We'll see how far that gets.
but yeah, the oh, the next show we're gonna be talking about is Dekin no Mogura.
Well, I know this one was mine. Was it yours as well?
New.
Okay. This one's done by Brainspace.
Hey,
Yeah, we know Brainspace.
I'm trying to think of the show.
Fumetsu no Anate?
Oh, they did that one.
Mm-hmm.
No, the long running one with Celty in it. Um,
Oh, God. Why do you do that to me? Oh, but they've done not to me.
oh, cool.
One you still have not seen.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, To go with the dandadan, it's durara.
Dude, all right, yeah.
So yes, so this is done by Brainspace. The synopsis for this one, I'm just gonna click on the actual thing here. In quotations, being said, "I won't die because I was banned from the afterlife." A shady self-proclaimed hermit named Momoyuki Mugata, aka Mugata, is banned from the afterlife due to an incident. Now he collects spirits possessed will-o-wisps in his lantern, hoping to make a comeback. It seems that those who encounter him begin to see peculiar things. That sounds interesting.
Okay.
That is completely original to me. They had me honest. So here's the thing I've learned. One of my creative writing teachers a long time ago told me is that you have to, when you're writing a story, you have to get the reader in by the first sentence of the book.
Hmm.
So if you don't get them caught by the first sentence, then you've lost them. And when I read that very first sentence, "I won't die because I was banned from the afterlife," I'm like, okay, tell me more. What the hell happened? Why are you banned from the afterlife and now you won't die? Because that's a different take on immortality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you have immortals who are just like, oh, I don't age, or I have an amazing healing factor. He's like, no, I don't die just because I can't. I was literally banned from being dead.
It's like they kicked me out.
They kicked me out. I'm like, what did you do? Why are you kicked out?
For me,
So I'm
like
like,
for me, I
go
have
ahead.
a bit of a sillier approach to that, and I'm
Mm.
thinking of Goku and like Snake Way and stuff like that, where it's like
Eh.
he's just going through all these different hijinks and like everybody's like frustrated with him.
Mm-hmm.
But um, but yeah, if you take it more into like the serious sense and stuff like that, it's like, is it is it similar where he's like frustrated a bunch of people, or did he like do something real bad? Like
Yeah.
it's really intriguing, like that concept.
Yeah. So it's not. I'm not usually one for like. I mean, I'm always one for fantasy. I'm not usually one for like supernatural kind of situation,
Yeah.
which is why I think Dandadan didn't quite cross my radar at first. I mean, I'm still trying to give it a shot, but it wasn't something that I was like, eh. This one, at least premise wise, just from that opening sentence, I'm just like, okay, you've got me curious. What the hell's going on?
Hmm.
So I'll give it a watch. I'll give it a couple. This is one of those where I feel like I'm gonna give it probably 3 episodes, and if it hasn't hooked me by then, I'm probably gonna drop it.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, the next show we're gonna be talking about is Food Court de Mataashita.
How am I not surprised?
um, so my notes say, does this show fully take place at this one booth at the food court? And then like a pimp comes by at one point, and this seems like the premise of a short anime that they've expanded to a full anime.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Hey,
yeah.
KFC.
Hey, it's not Whack Dollars this time.
They have sponsors apparently.
Well,
They're
KFC.
advertising.
Well, I think KFC is a big thing in Japan, like especially on
Oh, it is a
Christmas.
big thing. It's a huge thing for Japan.
Yeah. Um, but
They
yeah,
have
this one is
way different things than we have.
yeah, this
Go ahead.
one is done by Atelier Pontdark.
It is, and I have seen the one thing they did last year.
Uh, Isekai Shikaku. Okay. Um, I remember the picture for Isekai Oji-san, but
Yep.
I don't know any of the anything else.
Yeah, no. I watched the one they did last year. I
Mhm.
mean, it was. good. It was interesting. It was an isekai, but it was more character driven than
Mm-hmm.
anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The main character kind of I went back and forth on whether or not I liked him depending upon what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So
Cool, cool, cool. So the synopsis for this one is: to their classmates, Wada is a quiet rich girl while Yamamoto is an intimidating lone wolf. But what they don't know is that Wada is a mobile game addict and in a passionate love-hate relationship with a 2D character, and Yamamoto has a penchant for urban legends with eyes only for her favorite YouTuber, and their and their biggest not so secret. These unlikely friends meet at the food court every day after school to rant, rave, and learn what makes each other tick.
I saw that and it's her favorite YouTuber. I'm like, oh god, they're trying to involve current. I'm like, oh god, ah no 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 no. So yeah, reading that in the synopsis, I mean, I'm like, pass. I'm good, thank you.
Interesting. So, like, I would say that this is definitely a short anime premise, and the short anime premise would be like the rants. Like,
Oh, this is going to be a short anime.
oh,
Have you seen how many episodes are on?
6?
They're slated for six.
Yeah. I'm. hmm.
And it's funny because the number two tag on any chart for this is one of your favorites.
Tragedy?
No, it actually is one of your favorites. One of the most
Oh,
ever
cute girls.
animated you ever. Yeah.
Yeah. um, I don't know if they fit that criteria. Um, but yeah, so it's like, and it's like short anime as far as like the 2 minute episodes ones. Um, like as far as this premise goes, it's like the rants seem like they could be like one rant could be its own little 2 minute episode, and then like the next episode would be a rant from the other character.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they kind of sewed this all together is by bringing in like the school. It's like what do their classmates think of them, and I wonder if it's gonna be like that one show Achikochi where there's like each episode has an A side and a B side, where
Mm.
the first 15 minutes is like its own little premise, and then they flip like the little, what do you call that little teaser, like not a teaser, like the little buffer thing that they put in the middle, stinger. There we go.
For
The
for the commercial break.
Yes, then the commercial break and it goes to the B side, and it'll be like another small premise. I'm curious
Mm.
if they're gonna execute it like that. For it to be 6 episodes, that's gonna be odd.
Yeah, it is.
But I guess what can you get from this? Like what all? Like they expanded it as far as they could, I guess.
I would guess.
But yeah, we shall see. I'm curious how this odd concept is gonna play out. Alright. The next show we're gonna be talking about is oh, Futari Solo Camp.
I freaking knew it was gonna be that one. I
Solo
freaking knew it was gonna be that one.
Solo camping for two.
Good lord.
I knew you were gonna love this one.
Uh huh. Let's go camping.
So, I don't say. It's like they took Yuru Camp and replaced the cast with 20-year-olds and a couple of older guys, and then added in the cooking parts of Food Wars. So I am not at like, if they were like Yuru Camp season 4, I'd be like, yay! Even though I'm still on season one. This one, I'm like, I don't care. but the food looks
So you
good.
don't care, but you're going to do it just to annoy me. I see how
there's,
it is.
there's a small percentage of that, but
Uh huh. Yeah. Exactly.
but yeah, I was if this premise, like, if there's any show in the, like, if this premise was like had anything you would be interested in, I'm like, the Food Wars food part, like, maybe. But
I'm watching the trailer and I'm not seeing,
the
other
food.
than the fact that he had a chicken leg that he just. Okay, so they're overhyping. I don't know. See, but they don't see him cooking it. It's all of a sudden it's there and they're eating kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So it's
I don't
not.
know. It, I will say this: if you want me to watch that, then you have to watch Food Wars. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say.
yeah,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
it's just like another
Uh huh.
camping show. but yeah, so this was done by Synergy SP. And I mean that's, let's see, they, I don't recognize. Oh,
Interesting.
Kanojo Mo Kanojo. I don't think I've seen that show. 2022. What was? Did you watch that one?
Oh, the 2020. I think I've seen that one. Yes, I have. The Okashi no na Tensei. I've seen that one. That was pretty decent.
Okay. But yeah, I'm not very familiar with this studio. Um,
Oh no, 2020. I definitely seen that one.
okay. Yeah, that kind of. Wait, what is that? Huh? Hmm.
God, they have been around for a long. Oh God, they're the ones who did Mar.
Mar.
You remember Mar?
What? Yeah. Oh, they did Hayate.
2005.
They did Hayate no Gotoku. Mar, I have not seen Mar. Have you seen Hayate no
Oh yeah,
Gotoku?
Hayate.
Yeah,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
the what do you call that one? The reference anime, like the originator of reference animes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Mar came on Toonami back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I think I was. If it came out in 2002, I would have seen it. But in
Mm-hmm.
2003, I went to college, and in
Gotcha.
2005, I was out. I was off Tsunami. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Um, but
So,
yeah, isn't there another show that's airing either this season or recently that was like the reference anime where they're just referencing a lot of stuff?
yeah, the witch one.
Yeah. Okay.
Witch Watch.
yeah. Alright. So the synopsis for this one is a solitary camper who cherishes. Wait. Gin Kinokura, 34 years old. A solitary camper who cherishes his alone time in nature. Gin enjoys his usual solo camping trips. However, he unexpectedly encounters Shizuku Kusano, a complete beginner in camping. Reluctantly, Gin ends up camping with Shizuku, despite it being the last thing he wanted to do. What will become of Gen's peaceful camping life now that is turned upside down by this new companion? Is it that big of a deal?
He wants his alone time, man.
yeah, I'm like, how intense is she?
She seemed pretty intense.
Okay.
I mean, come on, man. The tags for this one are camping and sinning. Literally the only two tags for this thing.
So older guy.
Yeah,
Cause
adult males.
yeah, because I was like shonen. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, shonen is younger and then seinen is older.
Hmm. Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yep, all
Ah.
you, buddy. All you.
We shall see. Alright. The next show we're going to talk about is uh Gassen
Oh, yeah.
Shoujo
Take it away.
to Ibunka Kyoryu. Uh, oh,
This
this one.
one I'm not surprised about either. That is on your list. I am so not surprised. Though, considering who it's done by, you may question whether or not you want to.
Okay. So it's on my notes say I don't have much to say about this one. It just looks cute. um, let's see.
Yeah, see, I'm not surprised about that, but you see who's the one who did it? The
Let's see.
studio?
It's Nomad, and why is this picture back sideways? Uh,
Mm.
Alice Gear.
I was waiting for it.
This
I was waiting
dumbass
for
show.
it.
They did so
Oh,
much of it too. Jesus.
they did. They did
Freaking
a
4 years of it. Stop.
They did.
God.
I like their earlier works more than their later
I'm
works.
trying to find
I
something.
feel like their later works. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
They
like.
had some earlier stuff that's questionable. Questionable too, because Camphor. Do you remember that one from like
Oh, yeah.
2009? But they did, which was absolutely hilarious and funny. Bukatsatsu Tenshi Dokuro-chan,
Oh.
beat to death Angel Dokuro-chan.
I didn't like that one either.
I thought that was just ridiculously hilarious. The
I
other one that I thought was nice from them that I actually enjoyed, I think, was Rosin Maiden. I think that was pretty decent.
yes,
Oh,
I
and Host Club too.
I absolutely love Yozakura Quartet.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100%, that's one of my top favorite shows. And then the remake it, like they just blow it completely out of the water. I don't think they did it. I think a different studio did it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's like I know of Rosen Maiden. I don't think I've watched it.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, that's early 2000s, so yeah.
yeah. This Chokoro sister. Um, these characters look like Tenchi Muyo characters. I don't know if like the same character designer worked on it, but yeah. This is one of those studios that like I
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah,
I absolutely. Oh, did they do Squid Girl?
they did.
I me and this studio have a tumultuous relationship. Like I don't like the bludgeoning show, and I absolutely hate Dropkick. And then and then I absolutely love Yozakura Quartet, and then a couple of other shows. I'm like, those are nice, but Jesus Christ, please, this show do not be on the good side. Oh man. um, let's see, what was they? Um, there we go. The English name of the show is Cultural Exchange with a Game Center Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the synopsis is This story follows Kusakabe, a young man who works part time at a game center arcade. Uh, One day, Renji encounters an English girl named Lily, and the two of them trade diaries and begin an unlikely friendship of cultural exchange. Exchange diaries?
It didn't seem like they were exchanging diaries. It seems like he gifted her something and she gifted him something in return, and I guess it was Valentine's Day and he didn't realize, I guess, what that meant.
Oh, interesting. Hmm, I'm curious. Um, this is one of those shows where like there's a character who speaks English,
Mm-hmm.
and it's it's like they found someone who can speak English with as little Japanese like dialect as possible, but it still doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like an English speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So it like it's out of place. I can't place where that accent comes from,
Mm-hmm.
and it just I don't know. Whenever she like goes full English, I'm just like what do you like stop.
So it's English.
Well, it's like she does speak English sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
then other times she just speaks this like crystal clear English that has no like source of what like where they're from.
Just trying too hard.
Yeah, like trying too hard to not have any accent.
Yeah, exactly. Those are
Uh,
it's when they get to that type. They're like, what do you think English or American person sounds like, without
yes,
actually knowing what they actually sound like.
yes. My name is Lily, and I'm like shut up.
Yeah. So good luck with that.
Hopefully they stick. Hopefully it's mostly Japanese. But yeah. So this is gonna be interesting. It's the whole culture exchange thing. Like it's it's what do you want? What do you?
Hmm?
It's like friendship. Watching a show about friendship.
Basically, from
Yeah,
the sound of it.
yeah. It's not like a romance. It's more like a innocent romance, but mostly friendship kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It seems nice. I need to watch. I want to watch something nice. But
I already have my nice show. I mean, the Ame to Kimito. That's my nice show. I don't need another nice show.
good, good, good.
I get one a season, man. That's all I can do.
Too much. I get cavities.
You see, exactly.
Alright. The next show we're gonna be talking about is Gachia Kuta. So
Now I'd be curious, just because of the animation, was this on your list as well or no?
oh yes.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So
I know we don't
that's
have all the crossovers for him, but I'm like, I looked at the animation for this one. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd probably be interested just in the animation alone.
yeah. This show looks super gritty, violent, crazy, and action packed as hell.
Yeah.
um,
Are those your notes?
yes, it's like I am on board. Ray Ray took one look at the screen and was like, "No, thank you."
I'm not surprised because yeah, it does look super gritty and violent and actiony.
uh, yeah, it was funny that like um, yeah, like that this show was directly after the last one.
Yeah,
So Ray was like, "Ooh, Game Center one looks fun," and then the next one's like, "Bruh."
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Uh, So this is done by Bones Film,
Yes.
which we know from this last season, having done Vigilante Boku no Heroes,
Mm-hmm.
Academia Legals,
Mm-hmm.
um, and the final season for Boku no Hero Academia, which is coming out later this year.
Okay.
Hasn't
God.
come out yet. Yeah, I know.
Ah,
I know.
how much do I need to catch up?
See, that's I knew. I knew. Same thoughts on my part. So the synopsis for this one was a boy lives in a floating town where the poor scrape by and the rich live a sumptuous life, simply casting their garbage off the side into the abyss. When he's falsely accused of murder, though, his wrongful conviction leads to an unimaginable punishment, exile off the edge with the rest of the trash. Down on the surface, the cast off waste of humanity has bred vicious monsters, and to travel the path to vengeance against those who cast him into hell, a boy will have to become a warrior. That seems interesting as hell.
Okay. Uh, doing it again. No. We shall be back in just a moment. All right, we are back.
Take two, take two. So yes, the synopsis for Gachikota. A boy lives in a floating town where the poor scrape by and the rich live sumptuous life, simply casting their garbage off the side into the abyss. When he is falsely accused of murder, though, his wrongful conviction leads to an unimaginable punishment, exile off the edge with the rest of the trash. Down on the surface, the cast off waste of humanity has bred vicious monsters, and to travel the path of to vengeance against those who cast him into hell, a boy will have to become a warrior. So as I was gonna say, yes, I think that is very interesting to me. Just that whole like, so they basically, it sounds like, so they live in like floating cities. I guess they've gone off the surface of the planet. If we were assuming this is Earth in some way, shape, or form,
Mhm.
they've gone off the surface of Earth. Maybe they've polluted it too much, or it's just become too much of a hassle. And basically, anything they don't want or don't like, they sentence to death by casting it over the edge. And if it survives in some way, shape, or form, it has to be able to live on the surface of the planet that's basically a hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, interesting. I'm rooting. I mean, I haven't even watched it yet, and I'm already rooting for the main character,
Yeah.
who apparently is named Rudo. I'm like, hell yeah, take your vengeance. Go for it, Rudo. I'm all for it.
Okay. Um. Yeah. It's. Yeah. I was curious why everything was so crazy, and now it all makes sense. Um.
So I've seen Vengeance animes before. They usually do okay. Maybe not amazing, but they do at least okay.
Mhm.
This one sounds more intriguing to me because it kind of reminds me of Shield Hero
Ah.
in a way,
Because of
because
being
that's kind of how
framed.
his
Yeah.
story started and everything.
Okay.
Well, framed, and it's not so much like because sometimes vengeance is a matter like the stereotypical vengeance ploy. I think is usually like someone close to you dies or gets killed, and you're out for vengeance against the person who did it.
Mhm.
You just were powerless to be able to stop it. This one is more vengeance from yourself just because you were falsely accused. And I think, to me, the only one that really comes to mind for that is just the Shield Hero.
Okay. Yeah.
Different accusations, but still
Yeah.
same basic premise in that regards.
Okay. Cool. 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 Yeah. I'm curious how this one's gonna play out. All right. The next show we're gonna be talking about is Hikaru Gashindanatsu, or the summer Hikaru died. So, uh, my notes say, from the start, everything felt eerie. The cicadas were a dead giveaway. Then the dude's face melted and I screamed. And the trailer was like, yeah, it's a horror show.
Which is funny, considering who this is done by.
uh, let's see. So this one is done by.
One of your favorite studios.
Hey, Side
Because of
Games.
one thing. No. Yeah. So what have they done?
Uh, Uma Musume and
Yep.
Idolmaster and
Mm-hmm.
Princess Connect.
But Ume Musume.
They're going dark all of a
It's,
sudden.
they really are. This is a complete departure, but it's being done on Netflix,
Yeah, Netflix is starting to
so
get.
you know you're not going to be able to. Are they doing episodic, or you're just going to wait till the full thing is out?
I think they've changed it to where it's episodic now.
Okay.
There's been a couple shows that have been on. I think one that was on Netflix for this season, and I was able to watch the first episode.
Okay.
So yeah, the days of the Netflix graveyard, I think those days are over. Um,
Gotcha.
yeah, I think binge culture is not dominating like it used to.
Mm-hmm.
So um, yeah, I'm curious. The studio is like, all right, enough horses. Let's scare some people. Um,
Yeah.
synopsis is
We need to go into sign. We gotta need to go into psychotic direction now.
um, synopsis is two best friends living in a rural Japanese village, Yoshiki and Hikaru. Growing up together, they were inseparable until the day Hikaru came back from the mountains and was no longer himself. Something has taken over Hikaru's body, memories, feelings, and everything they know begins to unravel. Yeah.
Hikaru's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it was so freaky. Like cuz he's like
Yeah, I just watched it
yeah,
while you were talking. I just watched it.
I was like ah! What did it remind me of? Parasite. Like
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah, like just the freaking
That
uh,
first, that that first static shot that they had. of them walking in the countryside.
Hmm.
I hate that. The reason I hate that is like the whole it's essentially a picture with two characters walking through it. You know what I mean? Everything's just so static and nothing else is moving other than them. I hate that.
Yeah.
That unnerves me so much when I see stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's what they're going for because of the premise of the story, but I'm just like looking at it going, ugh, yeah. Don't do wide shots like that with nothing else moving except the two characters.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like the old cartoons from like Hanna Barbera season series kind of thing,
Oh yeah.
where it's like you'd always know what was going to get broken
Because it would.
because it had like a different colorization than
Yes.
everything else around it,
Yes.
or you would just see the characters like jumping or moving across the screen even though nothing else was moving except for them.
Yeah. Um. It's one of those things where it's like how I said in my notes, the cicadas. It's like if you can't hear anything over the cicadas in the trailer, it's horror. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's 100% a giveaway. And it's like something about the colors too. How they're not muted, but they're not vibrant. And it's like harsh contrast and I don't know. It was just I was just watching it and I'm like, I don't like this.
And yet you're going to watch it.
Yeah, cause I I just gotta.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just gotta be scared.
Sure,
But
sure.
yeah, and also it's like what took over his body? Like, is it aliens?
Considering they live in the countryside, I'm sure it's something. Sorry, I'm sure it's something more supernatural involved.
Okay, but yeah, I'm up for a little spook. Um, the next show we're gonna be talking about is Hotel Inhumans.
I know this is one of mine. Is it one of yours as well?
Yes. So my notes say, is this supposed to be like the hotel that John Wick goes to get his weapons?
Not quite. It's probably a little bit more than that.
Cause
I can see based upon the trailer where you would get that,
yeah.
but it's even more so than that. At least from what the synopsis would have you believe.
Hmm.
This is done by Bridge, who
Sounds
has
familiar.
done. Oh yeah, Bad Girl. That's what we were just talking about before,
Ah, yes.
amongst other things.
Yeah, Shaman King.
Yep. Synopsis for this one, and this is what I said. The most exquisite hotels in the world have certain standards: the finest food, the most sublime comfort, captivating entertainment, the latest weapons, reliable identification fabrication, and untraceable corpse disposal. The name of this place where people who have forgotten their humanity visit is Hotel Inhumans. The hitmen guests are welcomed by the concierge who never says no. So it sounds like it's kind of that, but it sounds like it's even more so than that.
Hmm.
Like it's John Wick, but like maybe even with like some supernatural elements to it. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I'm reading too much into that, but that's what it sounds like to me.
Cool, cool, cool.
I don't know. See, there again, I think this is where we were talking about. I was talking about before about like there's no new stories, just same story, same ideas told in different ways.
Yeah.
So someone said, "Oh, let's take John Wick and make it into an anime, but kind of put our own twist on it
Yeah.
and do a little bit more with it."
Yep.
So
Yep, it's
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting because
but we're not gonna go outside and follow the assassins. All we're just gonna focus on the hotel itself.
yeah, because it's like whenever he leaves and goes on his mission, and you kind of think about the dude that like gave him the stuff. It's like, does he like go in the back and grab like another gun, and like put it in the spot that he took it from, and then like go on the computer and be like, we need to order more of these guns. More. It's like what happens? What
We're
happens while
running low
everybody?
on we're running low on 9 millimeters. Can you order about a dozen more of them? There've been a hot special on those.
Yeah. And then it's like trying out the new stuff. It's like, is he actually like skilled marksman too? So he's like, all right, we don't have any visitors for a while. Let's go test out the new stuff. And he just pop, pop, pop.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it definitely doesn't seem like it's going to be. It seems kind of silly. But it seems interesting. So
Hmm.
I'm here for it.
Cool, cool, cool. All right. The next show we're gonna be talking about is.
Long name.
Oh yeah, very long name.
You might want to look for the English one on that one.
Yeah, I got it. I man. I think I need more RAM. Apocalypse Bringer Mjolnir.
So this one was mine, and I'm pretty sure you don't have this one on yours, do you?
Uh, let me see. Hotel
I
Humans.
don't think so. This doesn't seem like
No,
it would be one of yours.
no.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So this is done by Maho Film,
Sounds familiar.
and I have seen quite a few things from Maho Film. 2023, I pretty much watched everything they had. I think in same thing for 2022, and at least one thing from 2021. 2020, everything there. I most of Maho. Apparently I'm a huge fan of Maho Films stuff because I can. They've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 things, and I've only not watched 3. Yeah. I am apparently a Maho Film stan. Apparently, I don't know. So a synopsis for this one is Takoto Ira succumbed to illness at a young age and ended up reincarnating in a world that resembles the fantasy turn-based strategy game Eternal Nations. Not only did he reincarnate into his favorite game, but as the god who commands the evil civilization Myongra. With Myongra's beautiful hero unit, Sludge Witch Atto, by his side, not even legendary difficulty race traits will stand in in the way of restarting their civilization. Lord Takato won't you start over with me. Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate. A tactical fantasy world is waiting for heroes like you. Join Eternal Nations today. This is just fantasy isekai all over. But I think this is interesting because this is so okay. I'm gonna say this, but in this way, this reminds me in a way of Overlord.
Yes.
But here's the thing. I kind of fell off on Overlord because here's the problem I had with it. When
Lizard
they
Man.
started it, when they started it with him still being human mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And his actions, though could be construed as being evil in its own way, were also him trying to be good or do the right thing that he thought of. Now, after like the first season, it seemed like to go almost a complete 180, where it's like, no, he's just being evil to be evil now. Now we're just following the evil person. This to me sounds like, if we're gonna start this way, I want to be. Let's just be evil. If we're the evil people, then that's fine. Let's be evil. Let's be good to our people, but let's be good evil to everyone else. And if that's where you're gonna start it, that's fine.
Okay.
Just make it to where that's the case, because to me Overlord threw me off, because it's like we we were towing the line between being morally good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
and then after the first season we just jumped all over it.
Yeah.
And seeing things like that, and when you diverge from a character's base personality so much like that, it throws me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the same thing I had with One Punch Man in season two. Like his personality, his character flipped so much between the first and second season that it totally ruined it for me. And I think that's the same with Overlord, where it's like the first six season, I'm like, no, what do you? So if this one starts in that way and it continues it, I'm okay with it, and I think it could be a decent one.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see how far they're going to go.
Okay. Interesting. Um. Yeah.
And animation is not bad on this one either. I think it does pretty well.
Yeah. This is it's interesting to see shows that are like just straight up your alley, and then like the different variations where it's like
Mm-hmm.
it has its similarities to Overlord, but then it's like how do they change it up?
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm generally I'm very curious, and because it, even looking at the trailer, like it's got, because I can remember in season one of Overlord,
mm,
like it had that grittiness, it had that gore factor in it, where it was like they don't shy away from the blood, they don't shy away from showing things getting hurt or killed or whatever. This looks like that too. Like in the very first beginnings of the trailer, you see people getting impaled, people with blood on their hands. Like it's visceral.
mm,
And like if you're going in the evil route, I see that, and I'm like, okay, no, that's where you should be going, and I'm totally down for that. But then don't just dip your toe into the water. Let's dive in, and let's go full force into it.
yeah.
You know.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to see how, if you like it.
Yeah.
But yeah. The next show we're gonna be talking about is uh, vending machine in another world.
I swear, this is like, if I had to say like a guilty pleasure, like I went into this watching season one
Mm,
going, this is ridiculous. There's
yeah.
no way. It's like we're stretching far beyond our means now at this point. We're just taking Isekai to like a whole nother level
Mm-hmm.
where I don't think it needs to be. Why are we reincarnating as a vending machine in another world that doesn't have electronics even? What the hell? But it
Yeah.
works. It actually works.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't know how y'all did it, but you did it. And like when I saw that there was no question in my mind. I saw the picture of the vending machine with the eyes, and immediately I'm like, yep, watching. I didn't even like anything else. I didn't even look at the trailer. Didn't look at the synopsis. There's not anything before the synopsis. Really, it just said this is the second season for this. Is
Yeah.
really the only thing for it. But I'm just like, yep, nope, we're watching. This is happening.
Yeah. So,
And
uh,
these are the same people who did season one. The studio is the same. So,
awesome. Which is what's the studio?
Studio Gokumi? Gokumi, yeah.
Okay. They sound familiar. Uh,
Well, I mean, they did season one back in 2023.
Keen Needle Mosaic. Another adorable show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. I don't even have to click on it. I don't even know it. I just look at the picture. I'm like, yep, adorable show. Yep,
Yeah.
just from the
Uh,
picture alone.
yeah, they've done a lot of Hello Keen Moza. but
Yeah.
yeah. So I also had this one on my list. Um,
Oh, you did. Wait,
yeah,
you didn't see
I
season one
didn't
though.
finish season one, but it was like the trailer looked fun until I realized that he was spoiling the first season, so that I had to stop.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's basically it's like, have you seen the trailer?
No.
Okay, so basically like they walk up and they're like, "Hey, we're about to go out," or in my head, and they're like, "Hey, we're about to go on another adventure," and they're like, "Yeah, that was fun. Remember last time we did this and we did this and we did this and we did this and we did." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 stop!" So I had to abort real quick, um, and I was like, "Yeah, I need to watch season one because that was straight up spoilers."
I I again, I don't I love this show. I don't know why I love the show, but I love the show. And at the same time, it's like I have a hard time like, would you recommend this to people? I would hesitantly because I'm like, I don't think it's everybody's cup of tea, and I don't think everyone would enjoy it. But for some reason, just I almost want to I almost want to watch the first season again. Now that the second one's coming out, I'm like, I've already watched the first season. I almost want to watch it again just to be like, yep, okay, this, yep, yep.
It's one of those things where it's like, will
All it
if
is it's just fun. That's all it is. It's not like nothing dramatic, nothing amazing. Like it's just fun. That's all it is.
yeah, it's like, can this show be a representative of anime as a whole?
I'm sure for some people.
Yeah, I'm like, who is that person? Where they're like, do you want to watch something very silly?
Yeah. Do you enjoy fantasy? Do you enjoy isekais? Do you want to watch something completely just silly? Here you go.
Yeah, it's like, cause I'm like, the isekai thing is like an offshoot of fantasy, and
Mhm.
it's something that developed after Sword Art Online. So it's like, do you even need to preface that as like a concept?
Mhm.
Because it's like, in this show, this person died, and then when he came back, he's in another world and he's a vending machine. And they're like,
Yeah.
what? Like,
Mhm.
no, 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 that's normal now.
Yeah. I
So,
know you're looking at me strange. I know that seems weird. And I know it shouldn't work, but it does.
yeah. Um, yeah, I gotta watch season one. From what I remember, I think you and Signature both liked it. So I
Again,
gotta.
I don't know why. It is so ridiculous. It is like my guilty pleasure anime of just being like I came into it just going I had nothing else really going on and I was just like, yeah, I'll watch it. I'll give it an episode. And then that episode came two and then three and then four and all of a sudden I'm watching the whole season and I'm just like, how did this happen? What happened to me
Yeah.
to make me want to watch this? But I mean, there it is.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, yeah, more vending machine. Alright. The next show we're gonna be talking about is Kaiju no Go second season.
Here again, would have been on my list if I'd have seen season one.
Same. This is another show that I'm gonna do a delayed thing because I started it and I did
Mm-hmm.
initial thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to fit it into this season, but I don't think I can.
There's
uh,
too much in this season.
yeah. Um, but yeah, it is. What am I? Yeah, that's all my notes say. Kaiju number eight is back. I gotta catch up.
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, I don't think there's really much either of us can really say about it, other than, I mean, I know it's popular. I've seen clips from it. I mean, I know, in general, kind of. I mean, it's kaiju's, it's giant monsters fighting, rampaging through a city, and there are these people who basically have been geared up to be able to fight against it, but one of them, I guess, I don't know if there's like an infection of some sort where he basically gets, or something happens to him where he basically can become a kaiju himself.
mhm. Yeah, there was something like that with the trailer, and
Yeah,
I've only seen the first episode, so I didn't get to that part, or maybe I did.
yeah. The only thing I mean, like, it seems like he was trying to keep it a secret from his fellow fighters,
Yeah,
but I think like towards the end, it became something happened where he had to like give away his secret that he can become a kaiju.
yeah. Actually, I think it happened like right away,
Oh,
and
did it?
yeah, and I think his train like not his trainee, but like a rookie that he happened to come across, like found out the secret, and I guess they were keeping the secret at. And it's only the first episode, so I'm like, he found out, and then they're like, we gotta keep this secret, and I think
Yeah.
that's where it left off. But
Gotcha.
yeah, um, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Um, I so we're at the halfway mark.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and take a couple minute break. My webcam is acting weird, so I'm gonna yank on some cords and figure out that. But
Okay.
yeah, so we shall be back shortly. Oh, there's a thingy.
And we no.
Man, this webcam is glitchy. All right. Cool. That's best. Yep. The next show we're gonna be talking about is, for some reason,
For some reason, never heard that one.
one of the shows is missing.
Oh, you put this one on there?
Uh, the Jigo the what is it? Jigoku Sensei Nube is on my list, but for some reason I don't
Oh
see a.
well, you skipped over it because you went to Kaiju.
Yeah, I'm like, did I click the wrong thing? Yeah, it's not in the list. So I will put that one at the end. But yeah, let's continue. The next show we're gonna be talking about is Kako no Inazuke Season 2.
You watched the first episode of the season one, didn't you?
Uh, I don't, I don't
I didn't
remember.
have this on my list, so
So it is on my list. My notes say, um, there we go. Looks like a typical harem. Classmate, sister, childhood friend. So this is a harem through and through. They're not adding anything special. They're doing all the tropes. Like, it's 100% a purebred harem romance with a triangle. Uh,
it seemed like there was a little more than that. I vaguely recall watching the first episode, or at least part of the first episode, and
I
it seemed very complicated.
I may. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That picture. That's why it looks familiar. Um, but from the trailer and from how long ago was it the prequel? I don't remember. So,
It's like maybe 2 years ago.
ooh, was that during the hiatus? But let's see the
When did
studio.
this one come out? Yeah, 2022.
Okay,
So actually 3 years ago. Because the third one, the start date for it was April of 2022. So it's like 3 years almost exactly.
okay, and then it's a different studio doing the second one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so the studio is Okuto Noboru. Um, wait, are they using the same picture from? Oh no, that was earlier this year. They did the the appraisal skill show
Yeah,
earlier
they
this year.
did. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which I never finished. I dropped that one.
yeah, have they? Um, they did the one show
They
with
did
the
the
demon lord and the two.
Sokushi cheat ga Saikyo Sugete? They went to another world and basically the dude had a power already where he basically can say someone dies and they just die.
Okay. Oh, the cheat skill. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. And then
yeah. Oh God, they
20,
did. Oh,
2021.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just looked at that.
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Well, that one in the Oredaki Hayare Kakushi dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one was also very pervy in that regards.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The how not to summon a demon lord was extremely pervy.
Yeah. Um, so they're taking over this show.
I guess so.
And synopsis is the second season of what is the English? A couple of a couple of a cup. There's so many C's in this. A couple of cuckoos, season two.
Yep.
Um, yeah, the second season of a couple of cuckoos. Amino Nagi and Amano no Umino Nagi and Amano Erika were born on the same day and swapped at birth. Nagi was raised as the son of a diner owner, and Erika, the daughter of a hotel tycoon. Their parents encouraged them to become engaged, and they begin their life together. Soon, though, infatuations arise as Nagi becomes stuck in a love quadrangle. Uh, life, love, Life and love are embroiled in epic turmoil as fate is set in motion once again.
Yeah. See, the first part of that is why I said your second, why your synopsis of what you said it thought it was
Yeah,
more complicated than what you originally gave to the B,
yeah.
because I did recall the fact that they were meeting, the two of them were meeting each other through their parents, and then they realized they were meeting each other through their parents because they realized their parents were reverse of each other. They each had each other as parents of what they thought they were. So it became of, you're
I
my biological parent, but you're the one who raised me, so I feel like you're my actual parent kind of thing.
I think I've seen this.
Like the whole season, or just
No, I think
yeah.
that situation was very familiar. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
interesting. Okay, but I it's like I want to watch this one, but we shall see.
I feel like you probably shouldn't until you've seen the first season totally.
Oh
Because it's
yeah,
one of
yeah.
those where it's continuing directly from the second season or from first season.
Hmm.
So
Um. Yeah. I'll watch the first one again to make sure it's the show that I'm thinking of.
it's
But
definitely the one I'm thinking of. I definitely know this one for sure.
cool, cool, cool. Alright. The next show we're gonna be talking about is uh Kizetsu Yusha to Ansatsu Hime.
It's funny because I was looking at the rest and going, I don't think he'd have these on his list. No, I don't think. No, pretty sure unless he's gonna say for the fourth season of something, and I'm like, that seems way too much. I don't think he'll go for that at all. Anyways, this one I know was mine. I don't think you probably have this one on your list.
I I had a thought, but I didn't write it down because I didn't think it was. These characters are very
Okay,
stylized.
they are. So this is done by Connect, and we have some history with Connect.
Really?
We do. There are some earlier things that Connect has done. Well, I have some history with Connect. I don't think you particularly have some history with Connect. One show they've done in last year that I really enjoyed was the Unwanted Undead Adventure. I thought that one was really good. I'm waiting for the second season of that one. Um,
Okay.
Strike the Blood though is another one I've seen quite a bit of as far as that goes.
Okay.
So the synopsis
Slow
behind
loop.
this one is Hero Toto possesses great skills, but his extreme shyness has left him unable to form a party, causing him to remain stuck in the town where his journey began. One day, he suddenly is invited to join a party by three beautiful women, Seal, Anemone, and Gore. Overjoyed at finally setting off on an adventure, Toto is filled with excitement, but little does he know these women are dead set on killing him. A deathly harem rom com unfolds as the socially anxious hero who faints from mere flustered excitement around women, finds himself the target of three deadly companions, each of with their own reasons for wanting him gone. That sounds really interesting.
Okay.
From haters to I don't know. It's like I'm curious to what where why they want him dead. What did he do? Like it's interesting to me.
Okay. I'm curious to hear more about that one. Um, yeah, it's weird that like it's like you have a group of characters who want the main character dead.
Yeah, but it's like at the same time, it's like, what did he do? Like, he's been in the same town since the beginning of his adventure and hasn't done anything. So like, what what did he do to warrant you wanting to kill him?
Yeah, interesting.
But he seems so overpowered that no one has a chance to do anything about him.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
that's
now that I'm watching the trailer, it's like he punches the head off of a dragon. It's like, yeah, what are you guys gonna do against that?
hmm, interesting. Um, I'm curious if he has like other like protection against poison and other like other stuff that like people
Well, I'm
would
sure
try.
because it looks like one of them has like needles that they try to use on him, and it probably doesn't work.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I'm curious to hear more about that one. The next show we're gonna be talking about is uh Kojo Denka no Kate Kyoshi.
Now, this one I wouldn't surprise me if it's on your list.
Uh, let's see.
I mean, I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was.
No.
Really? I figured cute girls doing cute things, but there's magic involved with it too. So,
Uh,
this one is done by Studio Blanc,
hmm.
who has done. I recognize Saikyu Onmyo no Isekai Tensukai.
They
Oh,
did
the 2021. Yeah,
Yeah.
Onisai.
Did you ever watch that one?
No, I remember you telling me about it though.
Oh
I remember
man.
clips. I remember clips from it. So,
Oh, Happy Sugar Life. I I whenever I see Happy Sugar Life, I'm like, there's some bodies in bags somewhere in that house.
okay.
I
Well, there's a horror mystery, so I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah.
Synopsis for this one though is after failing the final exam for his dream job at the royal court, promising young sorcerer Alan wants nothing more than to retreat to a simple life in the countryside. Unfortunately for him, he can't even afford the train fare. His only solution is to get a job, but his one lead is anything but modest. Duke Howard, one of the kingdom's most powerful nobles, needs a private tutor for his daughter, Tina. Despite her academic brilliance, Tina is incapable of casting even a single spell. To make matters worse, entrance exams for the prestigious Royal Academy are fast approaching, and magical aptitude is mandatory. Can Alan use his unique brand of spellcasting to help Tina overcome her magical impairment, a mystery that not even the kingdom's finest sorcerers have been able to solve? And does her father, the Duke, even want him to? Seemed interesting.
I I remember watching the trailer for that one.
Mm.
Um I don't I think I got the same feeling about it that I have right now, as far as like I have to see more to like have
Mm-hmm.
like a hot take, because I'm like, this just seems like an interesting anime where you have this like tutor, and the person who he's supposed to be teaching doesn't have as much talent as another person that he's teaching, and you can see like maybe jealousy and stuff like that develop.
It doesn't seem like he's teaching another student though. He's only teaching one, and like she's brilliant in her own way. She just doesn't have the aptitude for some reason to be able to do what she needs to do. Now it sounds to me like maybe the Duke is doing something on purpose to cause his daughter, not to be able to do that. Maybe he doesn't want her to get put in harm's way, so he's causing her not to be able to perform spells like she should be able to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's interesting. I'm curious. I've seen similar things to that before in some ways. There was one that was about assassins and like a weird alternate reality of ours kind of situation
Mm-hmm.
where these you had to like be able to make assassin skills or stuff like that, and a tutor who was extremely good at that was called upon for to be able to teach someone who had very little combat aptitude.
Mm-hmm.
um, I guess in that way it kind of reminds me of that, but it looks more, whereas that was a little more serious, this seems a little more fun.
Okay. Interesting.
So I don't know, I'm here for it. I'm gonna see what happens.
Good, good, good. Alright. The next show we're gonna be talking about is uh Mataku Saikin no Tante no Kitara.
You and your mysteries.
Oh yes. For some reason, I was like, "That was yours."
I was like,
um,
no, this one was yours.
I know. I see. Um, so my notes say this show looks wildly absurd. The music was screaming the entire trailer, and the characters were screaming it right along with it. I have this. Oh, you have this. I'm getting too old for this detective and a young, energetic, crazy rookie.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I've seen my fair share of detective ones before, but I feel like you definitely go more towards that than I do, more
Yeah,
times than not.
I don't know why I'm so drawn to that genre. Um,
Like detective, mystery kind of situation.
yeah. Um, like there's shows like Ghost Hound and um, like in certain aspects, Higurashi was like a detective show where like you had a
Yeah.
detective character that played a big part in it, and so it's like I don't know, it's figuring out something that hasn't been figured out before and like
Hmm.
following the process. Um,
I will say, I think in recent times, I know in the beginning we had like Detective Conan and other like detective types series that were very popular, and I feel like in the same way that in the same way that like samurai animes kind of were big and then they kind of fell off for a little while,
yeah.
I feel like that's the same thing happening here. It's like there's starting to become a little bit of a resurgence of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, I guess I kind of see that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It just to me, I guess I never really got into it even when it started that way. Those were
Yeah.
never like my big genres to jump into.
Okay. Yeah, I think
I
I
think the
th-
last detective one I watched was like Psychopaths.
yeah. Um, and I think the detective type of shows that I kind of got into weren't necessarily like the like cop detective.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of like,
Private eyes.
yeah, or yeah, I guess like would Sherlock Holmes be a private eye?
Yeah.
So
Private investigator, just simply put, is one that they don't. They're not. I
part of like
mean,
an agency or something.
yeah, they're not. They're their own person. They do their own. They take their own cases. They do their own thing, kind of thing.
Yeah, like there was this one adventure. I call it adventure show. It was like the Daughter of 20 Faces,
Mm-hmm.
where you had this like international thief that was he always had like all these different disguises and stuff like that, and he was just he was known for being uncatchable, and now, well, all of a sudden he disappears, and I think in the story you're following his daughter, where she has some of his skills, and I can't remember what she's doing throughout the show, but it's you're following her, and there's other people trying to figure the different things out, and it's like that whole aspect of like the detective part of it is something that's always intrigued me, and that was like my like post Toonami anime years, where I
Mm.
found out that there was tons and tons of anime that wasn't on Toonami, and
Yeah.
those are the type of shows that I like ended up gravitating to. Is like adventure. So I don't know.
Fair enough.
It kind of ties me back to that. I don't see a studio for this. I
No,
just
I don't see a studio for this either.
yeah, I just see the producer, and it's Katakawa, and it's a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna go to the synopsis. The synopsis is Nagumo Keiichiro is a genius high school detective. No case was complex enough for him, but what happens to genius detectives when they get older? Now 35 with bad hips, running a failing detective agency with no cases to solve and struggling to pay the rent, he is at a dead end. In comes high school girl. In comes a high school girl. What? A high school girl comes into his office who says she wants to work for him. With her help, will the out of touch, old fashioned Nagumo get back the fire of his youth?
They had
This,
to add the bad. They had to add the bad hips thing in there, didn't they?
yeah, and
They had to. They had to play him dirty like that.
yeah, I'm out of touch too, and I'm like, I'm older than
So to answer
him.
your question from before, it's actually Leiden Films is the one who is the studio behind this one.
Okay, cool. Um,
Which of course we have seen a bunch of things from them.
awesome. This entire time, I'm trying to read the synopsis, and the picture of this girl, like posted like on the door behind her, it's just her screaming, and I'm like, I almost can't read the synopsis because it's distracting.
I mean, I'm more like um, the cat in the background that's like flying for some reason. It's got
Oh,
me like, what the frick is that?
yeah, yeah. This is gonna be interesting. Um,
Well, you have fun with that.
yeah. um, yeah, another detective show, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna be like anything serious at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so yeah, it may be funny. Alright, the next show we're gonna be talking about is uh, Mikadono Sanshimai wa Angai Choroi. So, uh, might not say. The typical new kid comes to a new school and makes enemies of the popular kids and then is assigned to be their roommate. I I like the character designs, and my favorite character is the green-haired snaggletooth girl. Um, so for some reason, um, there it's like a, I don't want to say trope. What is it? It's like characters that have that snaggletooth have very similar voices.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as she talked, I was like, oh, I like her character.
Well, considering she seems to be the less bitchy out of the three, just from that trailer alone, I'm like, well, I probably like her the most just because she's not being a total bitch to the main character. It looks like so.
Yeah. So, this one, what is it? The Mikadono sisters are surprisingly easy to deal with. Oh, okay. It seemed like this is one of those characters that's gonna like turn them around. PA works, of course it is. That's what.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Just because that style.
yeah, I was like, why do I like the way these characters look? But yeah, PA works. I like a lot of stuff that they do. Um, Man, the last 2 years I haven't seen anything because I've been on hiatus. Um, oh, they did Uma Musume season two.
I'm not surprised.
um, they did Apare Ranman. Did you ever watch that one?
Mm,
It's like the what was it?
I think
Wacky.
you watch Buddy Daddies?
Yeah, I remember that name, and I might have watched the first episode.
I'm pretty sure you did. I think you watched Fairy Gone too, and you didn't like it though. I vaguely recall you mentioning the fact that you just didn't care much for that one. What was the one you said you thought I've seen before?
Apare
What
Ranman 2020.
what year? 2020.
Yeah, it's like if Wacky Racers was anime.
Oh, I think we both watched the first episode of that one and
Yeah.
didn't watch it anymore after.
Yes. Ah, yeah. Yeah, that show took me back to like the Wacky Racers days. Dick
Yeah,
Dastardly.
I have not watched anything from PA Works in a hot minute.
Mm, Penelope Pit Stop. Oh, Uchote and Kazoku. I like that show. Hey, Charlotte. Here we go. So basically, like from 2015 and forward is like my heyday for PA works. I think Glass Slip is where I started to fall off, but Shirobako, I'm scared to watch True Tears. Nagi no Asakura, which I always reference. uh,
Angel
Red,
Beats.
yeah, Red Data Girl was a little too dry for me. Another man, yeah, yeah. It's like from 2010 to 2015, I was just all Kanan,
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, I love PA Works. So the synopsis for this show is: though ISAU is the son of renowned and talented actress, a renowned and talented actress, he is below average in anything he does. He is entrusted to live under the care of his mother's friend and later discovers that he will also be rooming with three sisters from his school who possess both beauty and talent. Though you thought that an understanding would be impossible to reach between an ordinary person and those blessed with talent, the three sisters are surprisingly easy to get along
Easy to deal with.
with.
Here again, just watching the trailer without having read the synopsis at first on that one, or just, I know I read it before, but just not in depth like that, or looking at thinking about that. Just watching the trailer, you honestly looking at the dude in the red hair wouldn't have thought it was a dude at first.
Yeah, a lot of these
Like
characters are
those features look feminine.
a lot of the characters are pretty looking.
They look feminine.
Um,
And the
what
fact
was it?
that and you know what immediately pops in my head, especially with the way that the one in the girl in purple hair looks,
Mm,
is Oron High School Host Club.
you know,
Especially the looks of the eyes too, the eyes and everything. I'm like Host Club. This Host Club.
interesting.
Like
Um,
if he put on like a dress or something, and even the girls they wear like the suit jacket and tie thing, and I'm like, come on, they're very androgynous.
I wish that the title wasn't that obvious.
So the problem ends up being, I was told this before when it came to uh, titles of like these animes or mangas and stuff like that, is that they have to do this, like they have to have the title kind of be what it's about, because I think the way that it's categorized or something like that doesn't give them a way of being able to do anything else. Like it they can't really advertise the manga or anime it's after if they don't have like the actual plot or the story in the title kind of thing.
Okay,
So that's why we've had a lot of these animes as of late
they
where
have like
that's they
paragraphs for a title.
paragraphs for a title, and they literally explain what the title, like it's literally explaining what the title of it is, and I'm just like, okay, sure.
Be like, cool, I don't have to watch this now. I already know what it's about.
Yeah, basically.
um, yeah, so I guess I can understand like the reasoning why the title needs to be the way that it is, but
Still
un-
annoying.
yeah, it's like I saw the trailer and I'm like, oh, okay, I know what's happening here. And then I read
Mm-hmm.
a synopsis and I'm like, okay, a little bit more details. And then I saw the title and I'm like, yeah, I know. I knew when I saw the trailer. You just like the title just beating you over the head with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, uh, yeah, I'm interested in this one, especially now that PA Works did it, and then I'm curious to see like how cool this green haired character will
Yeah.
be.
See, because the source material for this one is manga,
Cool, cool, cool,
so it doesn't surprise me.
cool, cool, cool. All right. The next show we're gonna be talking about is Mizu Zose no Maho Sky.
So this one I know was mine. Did you
The,
have it on your list or no?
no, the
I didn't think
waterbending
so.
anime.
The Water Magician is what's otherwise known as.
Ah,
So this one is done by Typhoon Graphics and Wonderland. Wonderland has done nothing else other than this. Typhoon Graphics has done a few things. Um, Noblesse, I guess would be one you might know.
okay.
There was one other one that I started watching at one point, but I didn't finish watching. So I haven't really done a whole lot with them. Synopsis for this one is Ryu is delighted to be reincarnated into the fantastical world of Phi, where he thinks he'll be able to live a quiet life learning to use his newfound water magic. Going with the flow here, however, means something very different. Ryu is immediately
Huh.
pitted against the wildlands he winds up in and the slew of deadly monsters that call the remote subcontinent home. You'd think he'd forget about taking it easy when he's stuck fighting for his life, but luckily for you, he's naturally optimistic, clever, and blessed with the hidden eternal youth trait. 20 years pass in the blink of an eye, and each encounter along the way pushes him one step closer to the pinnacle of human magic. Little does he realize that that's only the opening chapter of his tale. A fateful meeting soon thrust Ryu to the forefront of history, forever changing the course of his life. Thus begins the adventure of the strongest water magician the world has ever seen. Who else likes to do things at his own? Who also likes to do things at his own pace? I mean, yeah, water bending, it's water magic. I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm down for it. I'm interested to see what they bring to it. As far as when you have something that's so incredibly focused on magic and its own way, I know that I'm curious to see how they handle it
Hmm.
because every fantasy world has usually their own way of explaining or dealing with magic in order to make it to where it's like a finite resource that you cannot use it unlimitedly, and what it entails, how you use it. I'm also always curious when someone from like our world goes to another world and they're able to use magic, like in what ways, because they take the knowledge from our world with them, do they utilize it in ways that probably the people native to that world wouldn't even think about.
Hmm.
So and again, it's fantasy, so of course I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
I'm gonna at least check it out and see what it does.
Okay. Cool. 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 Um. Yeah. I don't. I saw the picture and I just immediately thought of Avatar, and I'm like, I wonder what like the trailer was underwhelming. Because it
It is.
like I would say
It looks very it looks very fantastical though. I mean, like there's like tons of fantasy elements in the trailer.
hmm, maybe they changed the trailer that I well. So what I remember is it was a hand and like
Hmm.
it slowly started summoning water and then it kind of collapsed and then that was it.
Oh no, they changed the trailer.
Okay.
It's a
So
different trailer there now.
okay. So I was like next.
And that's the only reason why because I know you're not typically the fantasy person. I'm typically the fantasy person,
Mhm.
but the look of it is still pretty nice. It's not
Oh,
bad in any way. I think they do a lot of. That's why when I asked, I was like, if you had this on your list, because I'm like, no, it's got a decent animation to it. It's not bad in any way.
oh yeah. Just from the picture, like the way that the water is like going all around, like that is like I wonder how it compares to the very very minuscule parts of Avatar that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like controlling water, the um, and controlling water and not as like rain or not as like controlling like the way oceans move and stuff like that, like controlling like actual like water, manipulating it. um
Mm-hmm.
the last really cool thing that I've seen was in Naruto. I can't remember what character um was using it, but basically they had water coming out of their palm, and I think they were a puppet. So their hand like rotated around, and it was kind of like a hose where like it was creating more and more pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and basically they like increased the pressure so much to where it was like cutting rocks and stuff like that around them.
Gotcha.
Um, so as soon as I see this, I was like, it reminded me of that, and I'm like, I wonder how cool the water's gonna be. And then I watched the trailer that they had before, and he was like bloop bloop bloop, and I'm like, okay.
No, that's fair.
I
That's
like
fair.
I like bad trailer. So, um, but yeah, it I'm curious, like what you would say about it whenever it starts.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll let you know.
Alright. The next show we're gonna be talking about is um Night of the Living Cats.
I couldn't. Uh, I honestly, I can't. No. I'm like, whose fever dream was this? Like, seriously. Don't let the cats touch you. You're turned into a cat.
I
And the cats are all CG too. Well, like they go back and forth. Like they have some that are CG and some that aren't, and I'm just like, ugh. I know they're doing it because there's so many cats on the screen, and they probably have to do it to cut down on the budget for
yeah,
animating the cats themselves. But I'm
yeah.
like, come on, man. I'm 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 a stringent person enough that I don't like seeing um CGI on things like, old timey and like things that things that I see in real world that I can hold and actually see. When I see it as CGI'd, it just bugs the crap out of me. And I have cats, so I'm looking at that going, that looks so fake. Like that's so fake looking. And this premise, dear lord.
My notes say, I can't believe what I'm seeing. So, in this show, cats
Mhm.
are like zombies,
Mhm.
in where you get attacked by a cat or you touched by a cat, you turn into a cat.
Yep.
I had to watch the trailer multiple times to make sure.
Yep. Mhm. I'm sorry.
I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't see that right, did I? Yes, yes, I did.
I mean, as I've said before, there's no new ideas. There's just the same ideas told in different ways. So someone was like, "Hey, we want to do a zombie anime," and they're like, "We've done them. What are you gonna do differently about it?" And you're like, "Hold on, stay with me now. Instead of zombies, people, we're gonna have cats.
And not zombie cats, just cats.
Just cats." I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, and I'm like, and the music, it was just night, 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 and I'm like, stop, stop, please.
Oh god.
I'm like,
And they went, "Wait, if you're gonna do this, what are you gonna call it? Is it gonna be we're thinking of Night of the Living Cat." And they're like, "No, no, no, no. How
but
about Night of the Living Cat?" Let's really play on the words here. Brilliant! I love it. Let's do it.
it's like I was thinking Attack of the Cats, but that doesn't really say zombies.
Yeah. No, they had to put it as the same as like the Night of the Living Dead. So they're
Yeah.
like, Night of the Living Cat.
So that's the show.
Uh-huh.
um, it is done by
Um
Oriental Light and Magic, the Pokemon people.
Go figure.
Um, wait, there we go.
I've watched watched a few things by them. Most of the things I've well, okay, so there's a few things I've really liked by them, and there's a few things I'm okay with them. Eh,
And the Beyblade
yeah,
people. Yeah. Um,
yeah,
this is the only. Well, I guess it's as horror as OLM will get.
yeah, probably. Considering all their other IPs, I mean, yeah, I'm honestly surprised. Yeah, because no one's getting killed; they're just turning into cats. There's no blood or gore; it's just cats.
So, yeah, the synopsis for this one is in the near future, a unique disease has swept across the planet, a virus that transforms humans into cats, and the horde is expanding. Since if these adorable kitties snuggle with a human, the human is transformed into yet another cat. A small group of cat loving survivors is trying to escape the madness, but how can you defend yourself against a threat you want to cuddle and pet? This wild new take. Alright. This
I
wild.
mean, they're not wrong. They're not wrong.
This wild new take on a post apocalyptic survival tale will make you roll over and purr with delight.
There is going to be so many cat puns and things. I mean, come on. It's
Jesus.
Night of the Living Cat. They have to put as many cat puns in this as they possibly can.
Uh, this wild new take.
Hey, it is wild, okay?
All
The
right.
picture itself on there is wild.
Yeah. I. That synopsis tired me out, and I kind of want to take a break from this show. I was just like.
Well, is the next one mine? And I'll just take over. It's fine.
I was just like, jeez. Alright. The next show we're going to be talking about is Sakamoto Days Part 2.
Yeah, see, again, I have to finish watching part one first.
Yes, and I think this one came out. We missed this, or I missed this one. But my notes say this looks really cool. It's that type of action show with scary, powerful, dead inside looking villains. I need to see season one.
Yes, you do. I've
Um,
seen 4 episodes of season one.
okay. Um, yeah, there's something like. What are other shows that have those types of villains where they're like just like
Hunter x Hunter.
okay? I haven't watched that one, but usually it's like really like
Mm,
it's darker shows.
yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. Um. So
No, I
it's
couldn't say that because the main character in that one's pretty expressive.
okay. Um.
Eh,
But yeah, it's like it's a specific type of villain where I'm like, I don't want to be anywhere near this person. like
fair.
like anything I do to draw attention to me, and I'm dead, probably dead. Um. But yeah. Um. This is a I don't know. It looks really cool. I wanna check it out. Um. It's another one of those ones where it's like I'm proposing for me to do a delayed like watch of it, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. But I just want to call it out because it looks really cool. Alright. The next show we're gonna be talking about is Uh, Bunny Girl. uh,
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what?
yeah. I
Wasn't
mean,
what I was expecting. So again, this is another sequel.
yes. So Rascal does not dream of Santa Claus. So
Oh, this one. Okay, yeah, I watched the first two or three episodes of this.
I finished this one and I love it.
Yeah, I remember. I remember you
Oh,
saying that.
oh my God! Is like I saw her, and I think this is her, but it's like I saw the picture. And I was like, why does this look familiar? And then I saw the dude, and I'm like, why does he look familiar? I don't recognize the art style, which was which is interesting because it's a unique art style. Um,
Did
but
they do
then,
season one?
but
Same season person who did season one, or different person?
let's see. I believe it's the same studio. It's just I forgot what the style looked like, and once I saw her in her old her uniform from the first season, then I was like, oh yeah, her. And I was like, oh yeah, it it's the same studio, I believe. If this is it,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. But yeah, I and the studio is Cloverworks.
Yep.
So and they did Spy Family, right? I think I
Yes, they did.
yeah. I also need to catch up on that one too. They did the Guild. Uh, I'll solo a boss to get off to clock out on time.
Yep.
They've done. Cool. They did Windbreaker. Interesting.
Oh yeah, they done Black Butler, Spy Family,
Kunoichi. That one. Man. Yeah. we've seen a lot from the studio.
Bochi the Rock, Fate Grand Order. Yeah, they've done a bunch of things.
Yeah. But yeah, for some reason I didn't recognize the art style of the show until she showed up in her bunny
Bunny outfit.
outfit from the first season, and I was like, "This is that show." I was like, "They make it a second season, awesome!" But she wasn't a prominent figure, which kind of made me sad because I think there was an issue towards the end of the first season where she was like disappearing,
Yep.
and now I'm like, was I was like, how did it end? And I'm like,
Yeah, see, I would have to watch the whole first season all over again.
yeah, and I'm like, and now it's called like the Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus, and I'm like, is she Santa Claus now, or is it a new person? So, yeah, the synopsis. Ow. The synopsis for this one is the sequel. Oh, sequel to the film. Interesting. Um, is the real miniskirt Santa in a sea of fakes? Um, Sakata thought he'd already accomplished step one, find Toko Kirishima. The next step was convincing her to help protect Mai, but that proved easier said than done. In the process, however, he makes a confusing discovery. There are multiple Toko Kirishimas. The Toko he knows may not actually be the person he's looking for. With clues from his friends, uh, prophetic dreams, he gets closer to figuring out exactly what danger awaits Mai, but he'll have to sort through the fake Kirishimas to determine who the real deal is before it's too late. That's confusing. Do I need to watch the movie?
Sounds like it.
That's. I
Where
don't
was I?
mind watching the movie. My question is like, where can I watch the movie? Is it on? Is it on Crunchyroll?
Oh, they went.
All right, and we are back. Um, so yeah, it looks like I need to watch the movie, and I hope that it's on Crunchyroll because they do put movies on there. But
Good luck.
yeah, Rascal's back. I missed that show. But yeah. All right, the next show we're gonna be talking about is Silent Witch.
So I know this was on my list.
I think it's on mine as well. Yes, this show has witches that have the power on a scale of Mashoku Tensei or even higher. This looks like my type of magical adventure.
Suppose I can see cute girls doing cute things in some senses here.
Excuse
Um, yes. So this is done by Studio Gokumi.
Yep,
Uh, didn't we just talk about them?
yep.
I feel like we just talked.
They did.
Yes, they're the ones who did the. Yep,
I was like
and
fridge,
the vending machine.
the vending machine, and
Yep.
Hello Kimoza.
Yeah. So the synopsis for this one is Monica Everett, the Silent Witch, is the world's only practitioner of voiceless magic, a veritable heroine who single handedly fended off the Black Dragon of legend. However, the young prodigy is actually super duper shy. Yep, turns out she's only learned voiceless magic to avoid speaking in public. Ignorant of this, the seven sages have placed her on top secret mission to guard the second prince. Can Monica keep it together as she contends with both social interactions and the evils targeting the young royal? It seemed fun.
That's funny that she gets this name of Silent Witch because they think that she can't speak when she's just like, I'm just
Well,
shy.
she 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 got the name because she casts spells silently,
Yeah.
whereas everyone else is doing that. And yeah, she's just like, I just don't want to talk around people.
that's that's funny.
So I learned how to do magic without speaking. Yeah, I think in general, I mean, the premise, the synopsis seemed okay.
Mhm.
But this was definitely when I read it, I was like, oh well, it's fantasy. I'll at least check it out, see what happens.
Yeah. Like whenever I can't remember what happened in the trailer, but the stuff that I did see, it reminds me of like when at the very beginning of Mushoku Tensei when the that witch came to tutor him
Mm-hmm.
and she like darkened the skies and like did stuff. I'm like,
Yep.
that's the time. I'm like, that's the fantastical stuff that I like to see. Where I'm just like
Yeah.
awestruck.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Um,
No, I mean, and looking at it, I could definitely see that the beginning trailer where it's just like they rain down fire from above. It was just and just annihilate dragons themselves.
yeah.
So
So,
it looks cool.
so yeah, I'm excited to check that one out with you. Uh, the next show we're gonna be talking about is uh, My Dress Up Darling.
See, this is the one I figured you might have this on there. Yes, this is one I would have. If I realized that's what this was, I would have definitely have put it on the list. I don't know
Yeah.
how I missed it because I minute I look at that picture, I'm like, oh, yep, I recognize all those characters because that's all her and him. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I'm super excited to see a second season of this one.
Ah, man. Yeah. Weren't they about to go somewhere?
I think they just started summer vacation.
Okay. Oh, this is also Cloverworks.
Mm-hmm.
You good job, Cloverworks. Two like comedy romance shows that like are amazing.
Yeah, this is romance comedy done right. I feel.
Yeah. Where it's like it's not about the romance. Romance just happens during the story.
Yep. So it feels more natural
Yeah.
because I think even people I've watched that watch this series, none of them feel like they're all rooting for this to happen
Yeah.
because you feel it's natural and you don't feel it's forced, so therefore you're like, hell yeah, let's, you two need to get together.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to say, My Dress Up Darling is back. And it's like, what's up with this amazing romance anime sequels this season? The trailer immediately showcased the tension between them, and I'm ready for more hijinks.
Oh yeah. God,
Yeah.
season or episode 11, I think it was, like the second to last episode
Yeah.
where they went into that love hotel. I was just like, what the fuck? But I was so funny, just the whole interaction between them.
Yeah.
And I feel like the voice actress who does uh Marin's voice does such a great job. And just because like the way she speaks and just like and her mind a lot of the times in the lines that she says and the way she speaks, I'm just like you can it's when she finally started realizing that she was falling in love with him and she actually cared about him, and it was just, oh god, so funny.
Yeah. I can't wait. Like,
Oh, 100%.
yeah. More My Dress Up Darling incoming.
100%.
Alright. The next show we're going to be talking about is uh, Shield
Another
Hero
sequel.
Season 4. Yep. So,
I didn't even look at the trailer for this. I'm totally amped to see more Shield Hero.
this trailer seems like it has a bunch of spoilers for me because I haven't seen Season 3. so, so I skimmed it and I was like, nope, no more. And then and I was like, yep, I need to watch Season 3.
Oh god, yeah, man, it's so good. It is
Yeah.
so good.
So I think I have to add this one for final thoughts because if not, I won't. We won't be on the same page.
Mhm.
So this
Yeah,
was
no, for sure. And I
yeah.
look back, I'm actually I am 100% current on it. I might watch a few of the last couple episodes just to refresh myself on what was going on, but I'm pretty sure I remember most of everything.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing is, I mean, I think even in the end of season 2, they were mentioning going back to Siltvert, which
Hmm.
was the place of the Beast People, but much in the same way as Attack on Titan, where they kept going about going to the basement, and here they're like, "We're gonna go to Siltvert, but first, before we do that, we're gonna do this," and I'm like, "What are you doing? God damn it!" I feel like it's important that you go to here for some reason, but we're getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
But it seems like season 4 is going there, so I'm
Okay.
interested to see.
Yeah. Also, Shield Heroes back. Let's get excited for another really good fantasy show.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Alright. The next show we're gonna be talking about is uh very long name. Uh,
I was reincarnated as the seventh prince so I can take my time perfecting my magic ability season 2. Uh, yes, totally mine. I totally get that, and I know.
so so
Yes, I
look
watched all of season 1.
looking at the trailer. I looking
Go
at
ahead.
the title
Mm-hmm.
and the trailer. I was confused. Would you say it has similarities to Slime?
Um, Similarities, sure. It is an isekai. He went to another world. He has huge magical powers, and he is kind of a ruling class in his own way.
Now,
Um,
now I'll tell you what I thought this was until I
mm-hmm.
read the English name of it, and I was like, "Oh, this is the show that Shade watched." So I thought this was a story centered. Like I thought it was a story of slime, but centered around the kids,
Mm,
and like the main characters would maybe be cameos in it. So as I was
yeah.
watching, because I don't remember what the kids looked like in slime, and then I
Mm,
see a little kid, and I was like, "Oh, this must be about their
yeah,
adventure
no.
while everybody left." and
Yeah, no.
and then I realized what it was, and I was like, "Oh, I was completely off."
Yeah, no. No, this was definitely it was a very interesting season 1 cuz a dude so the main character was isekai. He got killed in the world he lived in, which was different than our world.
Mm.
And in that world, he had like magic existed in his original world, but he wasn't. He had very little power, like almost none, essentially. And what he wanted was to be able to get reborn into a world where he had immense power and could utilize magic however he pleased. And his wish was granted. He was basically reincarnated in the world, and he can do amazing things, and he has an absolute love and fascination for all things magic related. And it's basically he's living in the world where demons exist and other such things. I mean, his very first thing as a kid was he went into their forbidden library in the castle that they're in, and opened a book that had sealed a demon, and then basically made that demon his servant, because the demon tried to strike back at him and realized this kid had way more power than the demon did.
that's that's crazy because for a demon to be sealed into a book, it means that they didn't know what else to do with the
Yeah,
demon.
yeah. exactly. They were clueless on what to do with him, so they sealed him in a book and then told everyone to stay away from this section, this library completely, because we're like, we have nothing to do with it. He literally walks in. The demon convinces him to open the book, and he would give him some spells and everything because he found he was obsessed with magic. He did it, and then basically proceeded to wipe the floor with the demon to the point where the demon's like, I will serve you if you stop hurting me.
It's a complete switch. I
Yeah.
bet the demon was like, "Oh, a sucker finally went into the library. It's like, let me get him to release me." And then he released me. He's like, "I got you." No, you don't.
Pretty much what happened.
Oh man.
And later on, he fights another demon and basically says, Demon's like, you can't kill me. And he was like, oh, I can't, can I? That's interesting. I have these spells I've been working on. Let me see how they do on you about 100 times, and we'll see if you die from that. And by the time he was done, he was like a smoldering husk. He was still alive, but he was like, he didn't want to be alive.
It's like I'm not dead
Yeah,
yet.
but he was just like, please stop, please.
uh, I might. It's like watching the trailer. It looked really cool, and I thought it was slime.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I might end up watching this one. I don't know if I'll watch it this.
It's it's interesting. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't. In comparison to Slime, if Slime was a 10, I would rate this one like a 7.
Okay.
It's still pretty high up there.
Mm,
I wouldn't put it on par with Slime, but it's
mm.
still pretty high up there.
Well, yeah, and it's like I didn't think it was slime. I thought it was like an offshoot of slime.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a side story.
But
And
I'm comparing that just because I know you've watched Slime, so I
yeah,
know you would at least have a ground basis in ways of that. So
yeah. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. More Seven Sun. Alright. The next show we're gonna be talking about is uh Suihosa Shokudo e Yokoso.
yes, I know this one was mine. This is done by OLM once again. We're in OLM territory.
Yep.
Uh, so the synopsis for this one is Dennis is one of the most popular members of the Silverwing Battalion, the world's strongest party. So popular, in fact, that the party leader expels him from the group out of spite. Stripped of his home, Dennis decides to start a new life anew, following his true calling as a chef. His life as an adventurer might be over, but his new life as a cook is just beginning. He teams up with the Atelier, a young girl who has been similarly exiled from her home, and opens up a restaurant for adventurers. He's finally able to live out his dream, but uh, he'll need he'll need use of more than just his cooking skills to take care of his eclectic customers' problems.
Is Atelier a new term that's gonna be used a bunch?
I guess I need to hold on. I need to see one thing for sure. Hold on. I need to see.
Because I'm like, I'm starting to hear it a bunch.
I know. Same here.
Also, the name Dennis has been ruined by the Minecraft movie. Um, Jack Black sang a song where he said Dennis like 15 times.
Atelier.
Atelier.
Atelier is how you pronounce it.
Okay. And that is.
Atelier. And let me see. Atelier is a workshop or studio, especially one used by an artist or designer.
Oh,
Yeah.
not what I thought at all. I thought it was a role.
Late
Um,
17th century from French, from Old French, atelier, splinter of wood.
okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go. Here's the Webster's Dictionary. Yeah, it's an artist or designer's studio or workroom or a workshop.
Okay.
Interesting that they use it in that prefix, though.
Hmm. Cool, cool,
So,
cool.
anyways, it sounded interesting. I mean, it's going in a different direction than, um, we've seen these animes where it's like a hero who gets kicked out of the party, but they're actually the strongest ones, and the party then tries to get them back, and they refuse to come back to the party because they weren't being, you know, recognized for their abilities or attributes.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's not even adventuring anymore, and he's like, I'm gonna be a chef,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I'm sure because of how strong he was, something else is gonna come up from that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm curious to see how those two kind of clash and what he does based upon that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it intrigues me.
Cool, cool, cool. Um,
Also, if it ends up being a show where it actually focuses more on the cooking, I'm also interested in that too.
yes. Um, I am curious what the dynamic will be between the characters because it seems like there's a huge age gap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm like, is he like just Papa that's always making food, or
Sounds like it. Even the
yeah,
trailer kind of makes it seem like that's going to be the case.
yeah, um, yeah. I'm interested to hear how that one goes. Alright. The next show we're going to be talking about is uh, Tsuyokute New Saga.
Yay, another one of mine. This is done by 3 studios. That's
Interesting.
crazy. So the first one is one we've already talked about before, Sotsu. Next one, Studio Masket. Oh, okay. They're the ones who did the Fumitsu no Anata. At least they helped with it. I don't know if they did it specifically, but
Dang, there's 3 seasons?
yeah,
Oh, they did Rock
the third
Horn.
season's coming out this.
Oh,
Yeah,
so they're on season 3. They haven't done the other 2 seasons.
yeah. Season 3 is just now coming out. I think this year. I want to say. Kind of only watched the first episode of that one. Um, so the synopsis for this one is: after a fierce battle, magic swordsman Kyle. Wow, what a name! Out of all the ones we've seen so far, having magic swordsman Kyle, it seems kind of a bit of a letdown. I'm gonna be honest about that. But anyways, after a fierce battle, magic swordsman Kyle finally killed the demon lord after being seriously injured in the battle. Kyle, on the verge of death, approaches a relic which was in possession of the demon lord, and it sends him to the past. After recovering from the initial shock, he decides to use this opportunity to avoid making the same mistakes of the past and become stronger.
Okay.
Oh, that might be the reason why there's 3 studios involved in this. The note on it says initially scheduled for July 2023, the anime saw several delays and a complete change in director and studio.
Okay. Did they keep any of the
Um,
work? Or.
I have no idea. That was just a note on the any list for that
Yeah, because
or
I'm
any
like.
chart.
Because I'm like, if they did it over from scratch, then did they credit the first studio? It's kind of like those movies where, like, a new director comes in and, like, reshoots, like, half of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
So I've seen an anime similar to this. I cannot think of the name of it off the top of my head, but there was an anime where the character used a magic to be able to send himself back into his consciousness back into the body of his past.
Mm-hmm.
And he was able to know what was going to happen and try to stop a catastrophe from happening.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of seems similar in that regards. So I'm curious to see in what direction they go in for that.
Okay.
Because it's always interesting, it's almost like ReZero in that regards too. Because it's
Yeah.
like, you have forward knowledge of things that hasn't happened yet, and how will what you decide to do or how you do things change what you know to be what the future should hold.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm curious. And
Speaking.
that's not a premise I see a lot of either. I think
Mm-hmm.
because there's only been like one other that I can think of that has done that.
Mm-hmm. Um. Speaking of ReZero, I got spoiled a little bit about what happens in the future, and
I've been trying to avoid those. I've seen a few little things, but nothing major.
yeah, and I'm like, I want to go back. I got really like stressed out and scared because things were just getting wilder and wilder. And
Mm-hmm.
now that I know what I know, now I'm like, okay, I think I can get through that.
Fair, fair, fair.
um, but yeah, alright. The next show we're gonna be talking about is Turkey. Time to strike.
How did I know you were gonna have this on your list? The most obscure. I just bowling. I'm like, God, Big G's gonna have this on his list just because it's bowling and it's something different.
So, um, the name Turkey, I was like, why is it called Turkey? And then I
It's a
watched it.
bowling term.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
had forgot what the bowling term was. I know that it was a bird. um,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's some kind of bird. Like also golf is like birdie and stuff like that. Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I saw turkey, I was like, I think that's for sports. uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was bowling, and then I immediately thought of Kiki, because Kiki's in a bowling league, and I was like, I wonder if Kiki uh, knows about this anime, and of course she did. She's like, yeah, I'm already interested in watching it. I'm like, oh, okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
I, if I could figure out all these technical issues, I would love to have Kiki like do a guest spot and talk about turkey. But yeah, um, sports anime, I'm always on board. Um, and bowling, I'm like, what are they gonna do with bowling? That's like with that one, not ping pong the animation, but the other animation about table tennis. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it is like, what are they gonna do with table tennis? Like, how are they gonna make a whole show about this? Um, so I'm always interested in sports anime, and now there's one for bowling. So not only am I do I get to satisfy that curiosity that I didn't know I had, I also get to see what like I also get to get a perspective from someone who's actually like regularly in bowling leagues and
Mm-hmm.
also a fan of anime and see what that crossover creates. So um, yeah, I'm curious to watch the show and to have the conversation. So
Fair enough.
yeah,
Again, I saw it was bowling. I saw it was sports. I'm like, yep, that's gonna be on his list.
yeah. Um, so this one is done by Bakken Record, which they did Mo Ippon, which I haven't seen. Um,
I have seen nothing from them.
yeah, it's what 6 shows, and I don't think I've seen any of them.
Nope,
um,
not a one.
so this will be a fresh experience. Um, the synopsis for this one is Turkey is a bowling term for scoring 3 consecutive strikes. Mai, a second year student and captain of the Ikokan High School Bowling Club, is a genius who can't seem to win a match? What? Um, whenever she scores a turkey, she mysteriously follows up with an unyielding split, the snake eyes. One day, Dina, the club's only first year member, confronts her. You're doing it on purpose, aren't you? You're running away from winning. Uh, but I want to win. If you have no intention of winning, I'll quit. Okay, that's interesting. Because it's like, I played tennis in high school, and there was like this one person who, like, I would win 5 games in a row. It'd be like 5-0. And all I need to do is win one more game, and then he would win 7-5. something something about claiming victory was like, and I knew it was gonna happen every single time, so I immediately psyched myself out. So
Mm-hmm.
now this situation happens in this show, and I'm curious, like, is it one of those situations where she's psyching herself out? And I'm curious, like, if I can relate to the situation that she's going through. Because, like, she's
Mm-hmm.
a bowling genius, but she can't win? And I'm like, what? That seems backwards. So, now I'm even more interested. um,
Fair enough.
but yeah, bowling. I think this is the only bowling
I'm pretty sure. I have never heard of another bowling anime ever.
anime. So, yeah, interesting. Alright, the next show we're going to be talking about is. Ooh, long name. Uh,
It's the Yusha.
there's no freaking way I'll be your lover
Oh.
unless. What? Well, I know what this is about. Unless. Um, okay, so my notes say I have no idea how she fell over a rail and off the roof. Then the girl who saved her leaped. Wait, yeah. Uh, then the girl who saved her leaped both of them off the roof and they landed into a tree. I thought this was going to be a weird school comedy, but it ends up being a romance similar to Gravitation. Have you seen Gravitation?
No, I don't believe I have.
It is a very old school um, show um, where, similar to the other show that we were talking about, the characters are androgynous, and I couldn't figure out what exactly was happening. Um,
Oh God, yes, I can definitely see that.
yeah, and this just seems um, on the other side. And it also reminds me of a show that we had talked about. Um, Miji was there too. And the show was based off of a game that Valkyrie Drive, I think is what it's called.
Mm.
Where it's this very strong and aggressive blonde character, and then this timid pink haired character who gets wrapped up in whatever the blonde character is doing. So it's starting to seem like a common, like a situation that's repeated. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Valkyrie Drive.
yep. So I don't think maybe I watched one episode of Valkyrie Drive. Um, but yeah. another show that has that same scenario. This one is done by Studio Mother, which I haven't heard of them before.
I have.
Uh, let's.
Actually, we have heard of them because of Tensai Kizoko. That's actually a really good one. And they helped on Arifruto, so yes, I definitely have heard of them. Looks like they've only been just recently though. Well, they only have been going since 2021.
Yeah,
They might be a spin-off.
yeah. Because there was one interesting. Hmm. Yeah, for 2024, I missed anime.
Studio Mother is a Japanese animation studio based in Tokyo, founded in 2019. It was formed by staff from the former Zebek studio, which was
Ah,
largely sold off by its parent company IG Port to Sunrise.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a spin-off, and that's the reason why.
Okay. Cool, cool,
They've done good
cool.
stuff though. Is that Tensai Kizoko Kentai Skill de Narigado
Hmm.
is really good.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. The synopsis for this one is I'm kind of scared to read the synopsis. Reneko Amawari is leaving her awkward and lonely junior high school life behind, determined to become a normal girl with normal friends in high school. Yeah. Glamorous, confident Mai Ozuka is Renako's total opposite, wealthy, outgoing, and a literal fashion model. Against all odds, the two girls form an immediate connection. Renako thinks she may have found the best friend of her dreams until Mai's romantic confession sends her into a tailspin. Renako wants to prove to Mai that being BFF is better than being girlfriends, but Mai is dead set on convincing Renako that they're destined to be lovers. Let the love games begin.
You have fun with that one.
Hmm?
I said you have fun with that one.
Interesting. Because I'm like, how long have they been friends?
It
Is my
sounds
kid.
like they were just friends.
Hmm.
Like the way that they met, it seems like she thought of her as a friend, where the other one thought of her as a lover. Immediate felt attraction to.
Hmm.
That's what I get from it.
Yeah. It's like, man, I was watching this one cool anime. They're like, oh, you're into anime? It's like, let's get married. And you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, like that's a little moving a little fast here, aren't we?
All right. Well, that was going to be interesting. The next show we're going to be talking about is Yofusashi no Uta Season 2. Ah, okay. So,
Yeah, I got nothing for this one.
yeah.
I vaguely thought I might want to watch the first season of this one, but it never it really appealed to me overly much.
Yeah. So, I kept seeing ads for this one because I think it was on High Dive. Um, and it was during the hiatus, so I was like, dang it, that sucks. I'd like to watch that. Um, yeah, I didn't watch the first season, but this looks very interesting. The characters have a look that remind. Oh, what is that show that I always bring up whenever a new season comes out? And it's these guys that are adventurers. Like some of them smoke and they have like piercings and stuff. And it's like kind of like in a Trigun setting. One of them is that Goku or monkey with the pole, something like that. It's a show I always bring up, and I'm like, I can never get into it, but I always bring it up. But it's a
Oh, God, yeah, I remember which one you're talking about now. I honestly don't remember the name of it
yeah,
because I know of the show, but I never watched the show.
yes. And every time I see a trailer, I'm like, I'm gonna watch this, and I don't. um, but yeah, all of the characters have that style. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know. It's a look that they all have, and I'm like, this is interesting.
You
Uh,
know what actually it reminds me to me what it reminds me of?
hmm.
Furikuri. Because of the over exaggeration at times that they have in some of the scenes with this,
Uh huh.
they go from just normal to all of a sudden like insanely goofy or just like really abstract looking kind of thing.
Okay.
That's what it reminds me of.
Okay. I can see that. Um, but yeah, it's like it's like the characters have that cool kids vibe. So I'm just like, can I hang out with y'all?
True.
um, this is
Until they go all feral and bite your neck off.
yeah. uh, yeah, this is done by Lidden Films, and they have done Bye Bye Earth, the bad one to start with. Uh, Rurouni Kenshin remake.
Goblin
Tokyo
Slayer.
Revengers. You know what? When I thought of Windbreakers to watch, I kind of thought I was watching Tokyo Revengers
Mm.
until I realized that was another show. Um, then,
Oh, there it is.
hmm?
Oh wait, no, that's different. I thought I saw the anime we were referring to before, but it's different.
Oh, okay.
Looks similar though, just because I saw the person in the background. If you look at Hortensia Saga in 2021, like the person in the background reminded me of the monkey that you were talking about before. But
Hortensia.
that's way too soon. It's something different.
Okay. Okay.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
I know which anime you're referring to. I just cannot remember. Though let's all remember. Let's not forget, right? Linden Films also did Terraformers. Let's never forget that.
So I always bring up that show. Um,
Because
ah,
though they've done some good ones, they also have done some bad ones.
yeah. Hataraku Saibo. Uh, Tribe 9. I think I watched the first episode of that one.
They also did the abhorredness that was Berserk 2.
Oh, the 2016 Berserk.
Yeah.
Yeah. This show has been taking some wild swings. Oh, the dungeon. Tatoeba Last Dungeon. I was disappointed by that one. Because the trailer was like, this is going to be the coolest
Which one?
show. 2021, the last one.
Oh, yeah.
The trailer was like, this is going to be the
Yeah, I saw
coolest
that. That was
anime
cool.
ever. And then I was watching it and I was like, this is boring.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
um,
So, yeah, Linden Films has done some stinkers.
yeah, they swing wildly all over the place. Killing Bites. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Oh, there it is. Sayuki.
sorry, you. That's what. What?
Yeah, Sayuki.
When?
2022. Last one. So this is why that looks so familiar to you, because it's
Yes.
literally the same studio.
Yes. Yes.
It's literally the same studio.
That's why. Okay. Man. Yeah. So Sayuki, the show I never watched. It reminds me of this show. Uh, um, but yeah, the synopsis is the second season of Yo Fusashi no Uta. What was the English? Call of the Night season two. Um, Ko overcomes his confusion about become. Oh, this is spoilers. uh, Dang it. It decides to like Nazuna. While Nazuna resolves to make Ko fall in love with her, without understanding what love even is. The two of them spend their nights together in a frenzy. Meanwhile, Detective Ugisu, Anko, is closing in with her plot to kill vampires, not just Nazuna. A vampire's weakness is anything they were attached to when they were human. And so they all try to get rid of this weakness before it's too late. But Nazuna has no memory of her human life. What is Nazuna's hidden past? Why did Anko start killing vampires? What is the secret that Nazuna and Anko share? For Ko, Nazuna Anko, a fun late night doesn't end here. A new night begins. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch this one. It's like it looks, you know what? It might have that same curse that Sayuki has, where it's just the characters just look cool, and then I try to watch it, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. uh, but yeah,
Somehow I believe that's probably gonna happen.
yeah, but yeah. Call of the Night season two. All right, the next show we're gonna be talking about is, ooh boy.
I'll cover it. I have it open here. I'll do the English one of this one.
Okay.
The white mage who was banished from the hero's party is picked up by an S rank adventurer. This white mage is too out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Uh, this one is done by Studio Felix Films,
Felix film.
who has done. Yeah, I think I've seen. Oh no, I've seen two of the things that they've done. That's about it.
Yeah, they're hiding.
They haven't
Yeah.
done much, even though they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, Synopsis for this one. We don't need a useless white mage. Lloyd is a white mage who was unexpectedly banished from the hero's party. We've seen this a million times. As he was lost and uncertain, he happened to cross paths with an S rank adventurer party in need of a white mage. So he joined them in their quest. Little did anyone know that at the time that the hero's party would fall apart and Lloyd would rise to fame. This is a story about an unmatched support magic user who believes himself to be ordinary, becoming an unstoppable adventurer. Um, I always like these types of stories. I always like the underdog who, basically gets told that he's useless and will never amount to anything, basically proving everyone wrong. And I also like when they utilize characters in unique ways that I would not necessarily be able to think
Mm-hmm.
usually. You know, White Mage. I mean, we've seen that with the Healer one anime this season. Um, there's also been even the Red Mage that from this season as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I consider it not to be anything abovely abnormal, but I also think it's interesting enough to warrant a watch. So
Cool, cool, cool. Um, yeah. um, the next show and the last show we're gonna be talking about is
yay.
another long name. Oh,
Uh,
I have one that I wanted to comment on, but then that's it. Yeah.
it's fine. So this one is betrothed to my sister's ex, loved by her sister's former fiance. That's a lot.
What?
That's a lot. This one's done by Land Q Studios, who has done okay. Um, hmm, interesting. Yeah, so they're. Uh,
uh,
I mean, you tell me what you want to say if you go to Land Q Studios and see what they've done for the last 2 year, 3 years.
they did those toys.
Yeah, yeah. All
R-
right, well, we're gonna leave that alone.
Rabbit
I
people
don't know what that
toys.
is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So with unmaintained red hair and shabby clothes, Marie, the parent's daughter, I'm just moving on, has been treated like a servant all her life. Count Granado, the country's richest man, who is said to be a difficult misogynist, falls in love with her at first sight. However, due to a misunderstanding, Count Granado proposes to her sister Anastasia, who looks like a princess instead of the ragged Marie. A very popular work from the become a novelist, Marie's Cinderella story has begun with a hero's misunderstanding. Why did I have this one on my list? I'm trying to remember why I put this one on my list.
I saw the picture and I was like, romance?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure why I had this one on my list.
it sounds very complicated.
It does. The high pitch is back, by the way.
Oh, how? Oh, I don't.
I mean, we can muscle through if you want, since we're almost at the end here.
Let me. If I mute, is this?
Yeah, it went away. But now you're muted, so I mean, that doesn't necessarily solve things. I'm just gonna point that out.
um, I
Like I said, we can muscle through because I don't know what to say about this one. I'm now looking at it going, did I mean to put this one on my list? Because now I'm not so sure I meant to put this one on my list.
okay. Um, yeah, I. It's like it's a studio that we haven't seen a lot of anything from,
Yeah, no, not a
and
thing. And now I'm looking at that going, what did I put this on the list for?
it didn't have a trailer either. So,
Yeah, no, I'm really questioning life decisions right now from this.
well, here's yourself a very complicated romance, and
Yeah, so I mean, if you're interested in that, I guess go for it. I am not sure what I was thinking on this one.
cool, cool, cool. Then I will go with the last one that I had. Put it in.
The Jigoku Sensei Nobe.
Yes.
Why do you have this one?
I had some comments on it. Um, then, all right. I remember when I put the wrong elf show on the show. You were like, no, not that one. uh, Come on, computer, you can do it.
Well, I will say while you're doing that, this one is done by Studio Kai. I don't recognize that one. Oh, they did one of the Musumes.
Interesting.
How many studios are doing those? Or is there just multiple studios doing the same one?
Oh, for I think like they hop between studios.
Mm.
Uh, uh like
Oh, they've done one of my favorite ones.
cool, cool, cool. All right, so Jigoku Sensei Nube, 2025. So this is a remake. This looks like a
Mm-hmm.
remake of an old school anime. I see. I see that Sailor Moon makes an appearance in the show. Uh,
Really?
um,
Holy crap.
and I am very hesitant to watch this because it looks gross.
This is the reason why I was looking at this going, why is this one on your list? Or you just wanted to comment on it that it looks gross.
And
And it
Sailor
has
Moon.
Sailor Moon in it.
Yes, that's exactly that. They've been doing that a lot. They've been remaking like a lot of old school stuff. So, um, is another entry into the remakes. And this one's like a
Yeah, but
full.
they don't always do it credit like we know from Trigun.
Yeah, and well, this one seems like it. I don't know the original, but from looking at this, it looks like a. Uh, it looks like it may be more faithful to the original than
Mm-hmm.
other remakes have been. Um, so it is. Yeah, you said the best Studio Kai. And yeah, so the synopsis for this one is a new anime project for the Jogoku Sensei Nube. The story follows Meisuke Nueno, aka Nube, a psychic teacher with a demon hand, as he battles evil spirits and monsters to protect his students in this saga that employs elements of Japanese mythology and folklore to tell a fan pleasing action story. Known for its occult and horror elements on school ghost stories and urban legends, Nube's captivated readers across generations for his heroic efforts to save his students from supernatural threats. Um, if it wasn't so gross,
That's not Sailor Moon.
it looks like she looks like Sailor Moon.
She's got different color hair.
It's the same haircut.
It's the same haircut. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But Sailor Moon's a blonde, and that one's orange.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Um, but yeah. Um, Another old school remake. This is a full miss for me. So, um, because I can't. I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? And then I'm like, ew. Okay, what's gonna what's gonna happen to this next scene? And I'm just like, ew. I just can't. I can't do it. But and it's weird because it's like there's certain like I'm gonna watch Melting Face Dude like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not fine, but that's tolerable. This is not, and it's let what would I guess it's because of the eyes, maybe because it's just tons
Uh,
of eyeballs or something. I don't know. Something about
it
this
is.
one.
It's pretty gross. I will admit that.
Yeah, and I'm like, why can't I watch this, but then I can watch face building, dude? I don't know, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that one up because new remake seems more faithful than some other remakes, and it's also gross. But
Fair enough.
yeah, that is it for our thoughts on the upcoming summer season of anime. Um, this is gonna be a wild season upcoming. Um,
Oh yeah, 100%.
yeah, got some really big hitters coming back. Got some very interesting sequels, and then some interesting new shows as well. So, yeah, as
Yeah, for
always,
sure.
that is as always DK and Shade from Takoyaki Anime. We'll be back in about a month, and as always, I'd like to thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out in chat. Thanks for